Report with Mickie K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith. The Ground Report with Mickie K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Bang, 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 bang.
Andy, good morning. Lennox, Mikey, good morning. Andy, I was watching Wall Street last night, and I saw KFC trying to correct the wrong. What is that right? He's trying hard. He's a good guy, but he needs to keep his mouth shut because he talks a little too much, you know. But when he talks, not good things come out. But anyhow, Andy, if you recall, there was a guy who called your station one time and said, never watch CNN, Fox, I mean, MSNBC, ABC, NBC. Do not watch those channels. Watch Fox channel. And let me correct you. You see that guy, he have no sense and he's a foolish fellow. He need to educate himself because he is one foolish guy calling his your station and tell you what to watch. Andy, let me tell you something. Everything that goes wrong in Trinidad is being blame Kamla. 9 years in forward, they blame Kamla. Everything is Kamla. Over here, it's the same thing. Everything in the opposition, night. And the unemployment in America went up. And this idiot from Fox Station telling you that the people that ship illegal is what caused the unemployment to go up. And the illegal people and who they ship back to the countries do not file for unemployment. Unemployment is calculated the amount of people that file for unemployment. That's why we know how unemployment is in this country. But a Fox reporter who is a national TV telling you is because they ship illegal people. You see, people who kisses Donald, like the guy up on the other side who prays and kisses, they are foolish people and they're not educated enough to understand. A man telling you that's how the unemployment rate went up. And we real trouble in America, I'm telling you. We're in real trouble in America. I'm just going to that. I'm in real trouble if you don't watch. And here, and you guys don't understand what the pain of it is. We need to keep the guys under control. And you guys, falling and talking about fuck, brother, educate yourself a little bit, man. Don't be stupid and dumb and call the people with efficient and sounding like a buffoon. All right? You really sound like an idiot. I mean, sorry, my mistake, a buffoon. Apologize for that word idiot. You sound like a little bad buffoon. Educate yourself. Read a little bit, man. Go watch on TV, read, understand. All right? Andy, listen to your program, my friend. Have a wonderful day. Bye.
Hello, Andy. Listen to this wicked Juliet. Davy laughing and making fun of you and supporters of the UNC. Doesn't she owe Dr. Mooneylau $500,000? Why don't she shut up and pay him his money?
Want to see the UNC do better for people like KFC and Joy and Anderson, Lennox Smith and Pitbull.
You will see that. When I'm paying donkey, you will see a thing donkey coming on Frederick Street tomorrow morning.
No, I'm waiting for the budget, like just like KFC and Anderson. I'm waiting for the budget.
What about Mickie and Andy Williams? Mickie is on a board. Mickie is on a board. Mickie is on TTT board. Well, look how life, unfortunately, his good partner, I'm sorry to say, his good partner happened to pass away. If he was still around, he might have been able to help that individual.
Yes. And board.
Yeah, boy.
That's all that was.
Yeah, Miss Santa.
I don't want to go qualification they have. She have no qualification. Oh, yeah, you like
That's not no qualifications for them to be on a deputy
she
keyboard.
have the same qualifications like Roger Alexander. Okay.
And community center.
Hey, morning, Nani. Morning, Nani. Trinidad and Tobago. Hey, what Raj is saying is true. I don't talk not much about it. I do this trucking business here. Ran down, well gone down to crap. Right? Brokers are paid, they want to pay. Freight is slow. Everything got the crap, man. Just surviving. Just surviving the grace of God.
3 left lane.
Right? So what Raj is saying is true. I'm telling you, I out here all the time, man. I out here in the trucking business. We the backbone of the country here. We deliver food, we do all kind of stuff. And we know what's going on. Right? Everything gone expensive, everything gone doubly priced. When them truck stuff in them grocery, everything gone up. Everything gone up, my friend. I'm telling you what Raj said is true. But don't listen to anybody. They don't want to know the truth, what this man is doing. I ain't calling it.
65.
You know what I mean? This country going to crap. Right? We are going to have deep recession just now. Deep recession. You know, if it keep up with this. Alright? I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you what's going on. Anybody else say? Let me say what they want to say. I know what I know.
Andy, I forget one more thing. I want to congratulate the school board and the Minister of Education opening all the school on time. Why do somebody call the Dolly and ask you how come you guys never open the school on time and half of the school never open? What you guys did wrong that the university doing right? Why do somebody ask that good question? Well done, Minister of Education. And if we want to talk about Munsami, that woman cannot touch Munsami's slippers, or maybe she cannot touch her underwear. If that Munsami, that's very smart, educated woman who educated herself. But Julia Davian is such a clown. I don't understand. He's such a clown. You cannot do better, but you have to criticize someone. How bad that is, man.
Good morning. This is one of the best ways to build your faith and keep yourself encouraged. Remember the time that God made a way for you when it looked as if there was no way. Remember when you were lonely and God brought somebody special into your life. Recall how God has healed you or someone you know. Think of how He protected you in the storm, guided you, blessed you. If you will get this awareness of God's goodness down on the inside, you won't go around thinking, well, I wonder if I will ever get out of this mess. I wonder if God's ever going to work in my life. No, you will be saying, I know if God did it for me once, He will do it again for me.
Morning, Andy. Morning, Mikey. Morning, Lennox. Morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Morning to everybody who's on the line. Andy, I listened to a fellow talking there just now considering the geopolitics and China and America and Trinidad and all and who else again. But you know what is very much interesting, I find? You know when Venezuela, excuse me, was attacking Guyana, right? Because they won the Essequibo area down there where Guyana producing all the oil and thing. You know what I find was so interesting? That Rowley and the PNM was so silent. Very, very, very silent. They wasn't even saying boo. But now anti-cams, right, decide to say, hey, here we're going on. We stand up against crime and we're going behind the drug pushers and the drug dealers and anybody who involved in drugs and all them fishermen and them in Trinidad here who involved in drugs and running across to the Venezuela there. With all this other stupidness that going on, right? She already telling them their own if the Venezuelan authority catch them. And of course, we, law enforcement over here, working very hard to hold these people and to deal with them and let the courts deal with them. You know, PNM was very quiet when Rowley and them was in power at the point in time. When Venezuela was attacking Guyana. What happened? Look, I go on, yes, I go on, because you see me, this thing is starting to get to me. Anyway, I go on.
Morning, Lennox Smith. What's on your front burners this morning? Unmute your phone, unmute. That's why you need the headphones so you will hear yourself. So long as you're hearing yourself, you know well you're good to go.
I was speaking to someone on the phone, Andy, so I couldn't
here, man.
Yeah, otherwise you would have heard what is going on. Yes, but a pleasant good morning to all and sundry, East, West, North, South, Central. Pleasant good morning, of course, to all of the diaspora, I should say, as well, of course, and our friends in Tobago. And as I said, wherever you are in the world, what time of the day it is, President, good day to you. Yes, this is the Wednesday already, yes, edition. So we didn't have a short week, but days just fly these days. And some say the days will be shortened according to the biblical story as to when Armageddon will arrive. But that being as it may, we are in the land of the living at this point in time, and we have, of course, a duty to perform, and we will perform it with zest, vigor, and determination, and with a high degree of intelligence. That being as it may, Red Cross trained Spanish-speaking migrants in emergency response. So again, the migrants are in the news. Of course, the Prime Minister has made it very clear that about 200 prisoners in our prisons from Venezuela will be summarily deported back to that country. Of course, she has also said, out of an abundance of caution, and just in case people, for one reason or another, particularly, of course, the 12 plus 1 gang that seem to be always in a state of misinformation, disinformation, innuendos, to, of course, try to regain some kind of political currency, a currency that has, of course, gone to zero or below zero, minus zero. She did say on the campaign trail that persons who run afoul of the law and from other countries, of course, Venezuela was mentioned, that they will be summarily deported. Well, of course, she has lived up to another promise that was made on the campaign trail. However, persons who have not made themselves known to the police in a negative way, certainly they will not be, of course, interfered with. And of course, they must also prove that they can sustain or maintain themselves. Because, I mean, if you can't maintain yourself, but you have to eat as a human being, you have to drink, you have to wear clothes, you have to live somewhere, it means that therefore some other activity may be taking place that may be untoward and contrary to the laws of Trinidad and Tobago. And therefore, I suspect that some degree of investigation will take place to know how that person is sustaining themselves. And then, of course, I suppose the authorities will take the appropriate decision in that regard. PM, parents must raise children responsibly. Well, that has been echoed. That is echoed as well by the Commissioner of Police, who is indicating in no uncertain terms that parents must take on responsibility. One of the packages I want to say in this regard that we have proposed, talking about love here, Laventil Outreach for Vertical Enrichment, of which I'm the political leader and part of the coalition of interest, is what is called parental responsibility legislation. I think that is, in my view, personally and otherwise, is a superior approach to treating with the whole question of potentially and real delinquent youths, violence in school, bullying, etc., by giving the parents some kind of what I consider to be whilst it may be criminal, but at the same time, it is not oppressive and onerous, so that they, at minimum, if the child commits a crime that one will consider to be, if an adult had done it, they would have been taken, they will have taken certain position. But because it's a minor below the age of 18, a different approach, a softer approach will be taken according to law. And if the child does something like that, the parents at least must attend court. That is fundamentally our proposal. Attend court. So that will create some what I consider to be inconvenience, first and foremost. And in such circumstance, one expects that parents will then generate greater focus and greater responsibility for their children, and I'm sure that the entire probably community may be looking at each other or looking out for each other. It may engender that as well. So you become your brother's keeper because there is this piece of legislation that exists. I'm talking here in the context of a proposal where if your child is found having, of course, been bullied, they cut someone, they were violent, they stole something, the parent must find themselves in court. And of course, there will be some criminal sanction if that is not the case. I think I have seen it operating in places like California and Miami and Hawaii as well, but not as soft as we are proposing. In California, for example, the parent will be held vicariously responsible, and in particular Hawaii, where if the child commits a crime that if an adult would have committed it, a certain type of action would have been executed according to the criminal law. Well, the parent will now would be held responsible in that or in those jurisdictions. We are not proposing that. We are saying that if the child does something like that, then the parent at minimum must attend court. So that will generate an additional burden, additional responsibility. I shouldn't say burden, but additional responsibility on the part of the parent to monitor the movement of the child, how they're performing in school, where they go, who are the friends, and all of that. Because the lack of that kind of keen and meticulous supervision usually lead, especially in quarters or in parts of this country, where the subterranean culture or the whole issue of gang warfare and gangsterism and so on is prominent or prevalent. You want to make certain that such parents take on the responsibility more assiduously, so that prevention of their children going into a life of crime and criminality and being attracted by gangs could be minimized further, and therefore impact on the crime situation in Trinidad and Tobago. So parents, of course, the PM is saying must raise children responsibly, and that came to my mind as part of our 1,000-page document that was submitted to the Prime Minister. Was submitted to the now Prime Minister, but she was opposition leader when we entered the arrangement with the UNC as far as the coalition of interest is concerned. The other issue that is on the cards as well, as far as news is concerned, PM 200 jailed Venezuelans to be deported. I mentioned that earlier. But I think the most, I wouldn't say outrageous, but certainly the most sensational one is that the Colombian president demands Trinidad and Tobago search for those killed in U.S. strike. Of course, we have stories that at least one body, and I understand there's another one washed up on the shores, I think in Toko, and therefore the assumption is that because of the state of the bodies, that it might have been as a consequence of that United States strike. We don't know if it's a drone strike, or we don't know if it's a helicopter strike, or indeed some other aircraft. What we know for sure is that it was a strike from above, because of course the video will have shown the camera facing downwards inside of the boat before, of course, it was decimated by that strike or that missile or whatever explosive that was used to destroy it, and of course to kill 11 persons, as well as, according to the reports of the coming out of the United States, persons who were drug traffickers and belonging to a particular drug cartel. So the Colombian president has demanded that Trinidad and Tobago search for those killed in U.S. strike. What do you think the Prime Minister's response would have been? Well, all right. Let me have you hold your breath, because by now you would know that it would have been one that would have been very firm and very much in the interest of Trinidad and Tobago. Well, she did respond by saying that Trinidad and Tobago's resources, limited as it is, that part of it is my interpretation. But she did say Trinidad and Tobago's resources will not be utilized in the search for any narcotic or any person who may have been the victim of that strike that the Americans said was striking at drug cartel, and the persons who were inside of the vessel perished as a consequence of being part and parcel of that fight that the Americans and Trinidad and Tobago has endorsed in terms of those persons engaging in the trafficking of narcotics. Of course, she went on to say in non-certain terms, the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, that is, in response to the request by the Colombian president, that there's too much murders, too much mayhem, too much record-breaking tragedy in Trinidad and Tobago for any kind of resource to be deployed in the search for such persons. So it's very strong language indeed. Of course, the crime situation continues to unabated, I should say, but nonetheless, since the 28th of April has been reduced by something like 22% in terms of murders, but certainly one murder is too much, and therefore there is a situation where the Dabadi man gunned down at home. So we have that development taking place, and that only happened yesterday. TNT Chamber meets Minister of Homeland Security on crime security. Well, of course, I know that there are several interest groups, several stakeholders, including, of course, the chambers and other civil society entities that would include the trade union movement, of course, wanting to meet with the Minister of Homeland Security to talk about matters of security. I know that Gregory Aboud, I think, or the Friends and Fishermen, that were not Gregory, was, of course, castigated, criticized, because I think that he was of the view, as some people have been saying, whether they're experts or otherwise, that the persons who were fired at in that shipment that was heading, we know now, for Trinidad of narcotics, it should have been intercepted and the people held, and the boat seized and its contraband, and let due process take its course. Of course, the Americans are not of that view, and the position of Trinidad and Tobago is that that was a bold and good move by the Americans in the interest of Trinidad, since Trinidad and Tobago doesn't have to deploy any resource in order to make those things happen, and at the same time relieving us of some of the burden associated with the drug trade. Trinidad and Tobago being, of course, an intraport or a transshipment point, but as a consequence of that, you have arms and ammunition remaining, including some of the drugs as well, and that has created or fueled the unacceptable level of crime and criminality in Trinidad and Tobago. So the Prime Minister has no mercy for such individuals who have such, what should I say, a sympathy for the rule of law, if you want to call it that, and the need to, of course, have due process take place, particularly, as they say, if it had occurred in international waters. We know now that it occurred in Trinidad and Tobago's waters, but of course the question is whether or not Trinidad and Tobago gave authority. All those questions will be brought to the fore relating to that incident, but the fact of the matter is that we have no evidence, according to the Prime Minister. She said that no authority was given, but if that occurred in Trinidad and Tobago's water, I have to interpret it that way. Happy riddance, because Trinidad and Tobago will be better off for it. All right, that is where we are with respect, of course, to this matter. Paria, Heritage, Garakara, Repair, St. Peter's Primary. So we have a combination of these three energy-related, government-owned entities that have come together to repair St. Peter's Primary. Maybe I should put in an application for them to repair our facility here on George Street, and let's see how successful I will be at that, because God knows there is a need for repairs. I know that the engineering corps of the Army did pay us a visit, and we are working out some logistics and some other things to ensure that the work that we do here at the facility is done in more hospitable conditions, physically and otherwise. All right, wasted chance, offside goal cost the Trinidad and Tobago Reggae Boys win 2-0 in World Cup. So we were beaten in that one. All right, we have to, dust our butts and come again.
How much a loss? How much a loss?
2-1, I think, and there was a offside goal scored by Trinidad. So the suggestion is that if that was scored, it might have narrowed it, or you could have won, or at least draw. So it's 2-1. So Reggae Boys wins 2-1. All right, Stuart, that is not Stuart Young. These days he's extremely silent, but this is the head of the Nursing Association, and he said nursing program suspension affecting quality of health care. And of course, that statement would have been made as a consequence of the investigation.
Right, but what he say? He say nursing assistant affected by quality of care. Tell us what he say. You see, what has confused me, and I tell you, you just tell us what you. But read what has he stated. When I see a thing, read what them stating.
I have no difficulty in that, but of course I know that you would have been taught English in school, and there's something called pre-scene and summarizing.
Right, but no.
If you want me to go into details, reported speech and all of that, but I will do that.
Yeah.
So Stuart, the nursing program suspension affecting quality of health care. And the president of the National Nurses Association, I.D. Stewart, said the recent suspension of the advanced certificate in nursing assistance program, which was offered by the College of Science, Technology and Applied Arts of Trinidad and Tobago, COSTAT, is affecting the quality of healthcare in T&T. He said that the association learned of the development through media reports. Speaking to Newsday by phone on September 9th, Stewart said the association has written to Minister of Tertiary Education, Professor Prakash Prasad, requesting an urgent meeting to discuss the implication of the suspension. So it appears that that would have been done in recent times because Prakash Prasad would be, of course, an appointee of the present administration. He said that the meeting would also address the broader staffing crisis in the public health system and the association's recommendation that all nursing programs be transferred to other institutions. We are not confident COSTAT can deliver these programs effectively or in line with best practices. Stewart said universities like the University of Southern Caribbean and the UWI are already delivering some of these programs. That's where the focus should be. On September 5th, COSTAT informed students enrolled in the Advanced Certificate in Nursing Assistance Program that they will be deregistered from the course, which had been scheduled to begin on September 8th. The college said the suspension came amid ongoing discussions with the Nursing Council and the Accreditation Council of Trinidad and Tobago regarding the program's full approval status. Stewart said the current impasse has its roots in a similar situation involving the Ministry of Education's Nursing Division, which previously offered a nursing assistant program directly. He said in 2023, the program was shut down following a successful legal challenge brought by the Nurses Association. The court, quoting him now, the courts found the ministry was operating an unregistered, unaccredited school, as essentially an illegal program. After that ruling, the program was handed over to COSTAT to run, but they too attempted to deliver the course without proper registration or approval. So we see where that is where that is going and where that has gone. Stewart said COSTAT received accreditation for the program from ACTT. That means ACTT, the Accreditation Council, I suppose, of Trinidad and Tobago, in November 2024, after submitting the proposal in February for that year. However, the Nursing Council, the primary regulatory body for nursing education, has not yet given final approval. That is the information coming to us. The Nursing Council has not completed their evaluation and has not issued final approval. I believe even the president of the council has confirmed this. Stewart added, despite the association's role in safeguarding the interests of nursing professionals, it was neither invited to nor involved in the closed-door meeting between COSTAT, the Nursing Council, and the ACTT on September 8th. So quite a number of developments are taking place there. I'm being disturbed by this call. Let me just interrupt it there. He said Stewart added, despite the association's role in safeguarding the interests, I read that already. He said he is eagerly awaiting a meeting with Prasad, of course, the minister responsible for tertiary education. The September 8th meeting, according to a COSTAT media release, was chaired by COSTAT President Dr. Keith Nurse and attended by Nursing Council President Corey George and ACCTT Executive Director Curtis Floyd.
Nice, Curtis Floyd. So now let us know now what that is about there. What that is about.
Well, as it starts, remember he says that because there's a shortage of nurses, the quality of public health in the public health system in Trinidad and Tobago is in jeopardy. And he then went on, of course, to explain why it is so, because accreditation was not given to either the Ministry of Education in their nursing promotion program, and even though it was handed to COSTAT, their status in terms of whether they can deliver the program to increase the number of nurses in the system, that too is questionable. However, of course, he has given a green light to the UWI and, of course, that Caribbean, that Adventist University nestled in the valley of Maracas there. So that is essentially what this is all about. And he's blaming, of course, the administration for the suspension. All right?
All right. Wow.
Okay.
Where's your for we there?
Yes. So blow them to pieces. Of course, Prime Minister rejects Colombia's call to search for people killed at sea. Well, since in that mood, let me just read a piece of that for you too now. All right, so let me get to the story. Let me read that for you one time, man. Right. Blow them to pieces. PM rejects Colombia's call to search for people killed at sea. Prime Minister Kamala Prasad Bisesa has rejected a call from Colombian President Gustavo Petro to search for the bodies of those killed by the U.S. in an airstrike on an alleged drug boat on September 2nd. In an immediate response to Newsday via WhatsApp on September 9th, Prasad Bisesa said the TT government will not waste resources on searching for the remains of the 11 people who were killed. However, she said, any carcasses or any carcass that wash up on our shores, we will recover it. So carcass, of course, a dead body. So she's saying that we will do that, but we're not going to waste time. In a post to X, meaning that, of course, like Twitter, formerly Twitter, on September 9th, Pedro said, it is extremely important that the Caribbean Republic of Trinidad and Tobago search for remains of the civilian dead from the U.S. bombing of a civilian vessel, about which we do not know if it was carrying drugs, and if it was, it should not have been bombed. Well, strong statement indeed. The bombing took place in the territorial waters of Trinidad and Tobago. Did the island's government give permission? The question is asked. Life comes first, always and everywhere. According to the president of Colombia, his appeal came days after two bodies washed ashore on Trinidad's northeastern coastline over the weekend. So it's two bodies. So this article is confirming it's two bodies and not one. The first was found on September 5th.
So what bodies is that?
And
that bodies what blow up? The blow up bodies come to shore.
That is the assumption. Yes, that.
But who said that? Who said two bodies come to shore and giving them dates?
Well, he said it in his appeal to Trinidad and Tobago's
right.
government.
Who said it?
Then the author of this article as well. Yeah.
Who said it? The author of the article, all right, we don't know the author of the article. But who in Venezuela said it? Who said it? Who said that in the article?
In Venezuela? No, not Venezuela, the Colombian.
Right, so the Colombian ambassador to Trinidad and Tobago?
No, the Colombian president in a communication to the Trinidad and Tobago government is asking for them to retrieve the bodies, and of course he made an altruistic appeal, meaning that a humanitarian appeal that if it was bombed in Trinidad and Tobago's waters, was Trinidad and Tobago's government, was it done by with Trinidad and Tobago's government's approval?
Oh, that is a serious one day. And Kamala and saying that one. If she approve or not,
that she's not going to look for anybody. But of course, if it comes up, if those carcasses come, well then it will be retrieved. But she's not going to spend any time, because that was his original request.
Wow.
To have assets.
This thing starting
for these individuals. Remember, it's 11 of them.
Right, but this thing starting to sound like, and all right, and he, Colombian president, is saying that two bodies came on what days and where? Where he said two bodies showed up.
Well, we know from the local news, because it was around up to yesterday, Toko. I am not certain where the other one showed up, but according to this article, it appears to be two. But what the Prime Minister said subsequently, I think, is important as well. Listen to this. Prasad Bisesa took umbrage, so she feels that probably he's out of place, because
Colombia
umbrage means umbrage with Pedro's statement saying our Coast Guard resources will be utilized for the protection of our borders, not to look for dead drug traffickers. I mean, you can't
God!
Pellucid than
this woman singing like a real badger now, boy, Lennox boy. Yeah, boy, I'm telling you, boy.
Margaret Thatcher.
Yeah, boy.
So like Margaret Thatcher, you know,
reminiscent
of Margaret Thatcher. Yeah, and Eugenia Charles
cool.
From Dominica. Remember when everybody else, including Trinidad, was backing out from invading Grenada? She was right up in front. Well, of course, she's talking like her, as well as, of course, Margaret Thatcher from Great Britain.
But you ain't find how she sung in there. You know, well, not she. Let me say, you ain't find out the Honorable Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, Kamala Prasad Bisesa, that you ain't find it kind of frightening, especially them big countries and Venezuela, them hearing this little woman with this kind of big talk, like we are some kind of guns and like.
She did say that she's a different person from the last iteration of her administration between 2010 to 2015. I suppose what we are hearing and seeing and unfolding before our very eyes is a manifestation thereof. It's obvious.
No, but now, all right, but what?
On, you know, she went on.
Right, but with how...
She also challenged Pedro, which is, of course, the president.
She said,
saying that the boat was not a civilian vessel, and there would be consequences for those doing illegal acts. So, in other words, just in case it's to shoot down the argument. Sorry for the pun on shoot, but I mean that seems to be appropriate at this point. But just in case you're saying that it was shot in Trinidad and Tobago's waters, but I want to tell you that it was illegal.
So
let me read that again.
yeah.
Challenge Pedro, saying the boat was not a civilian vessel, so it's not the boat that will take people to and from Tobago, for example, and there would be consequences for those doing illegal acts. So it wasn't a civilian vessel, one, and there are consequences for those who are engaged in illegal acts, meaning that they are engaged in contraband, drugs, and other items of that nature.
Yes, Rambachan, he have to explain everything to the host because it have people, yes, just getting little clippets of the news and getting all of the news. You maybe researched and maybe know everything, but I didn't. It have many people didn't, and look, it have some of the things that Lennox didn't because he and all now reading up certain things and now learning, wow, she said that, wow, and all those things. So yes, and that is what the program is for. In order for others that not as bright as you, that there's hard time, you have time to go through every news station, every social media thing. You have the time to do that. Hey, you have a lot of people that have time to do that. You have a lot of people attending work. From work, that organize and attend to the children home, go home, cook, clean, wash, organize, still pick up the children who are in their school work and thing. You might be a big shot, you are the time. Or you are somebody doing your work for you. So you are the time. So we program,
we have always,
we program now is to make sure that the people that they're not the time like you, like all now, right, they're just organizing themselves to go to work, they're listening to the program, while on the way to work, they're listening and thing, right, the home, right. So while they're doing that now, them now getting the information from us. That is how it is go.
And of course, I just want to add that if you may be intellectually inclined and therefore your grasping ability is off the cuff, in a jiffy, there are those who are not. Just remember that. And therefore, of course, the audience comprises of that. That is why, of course, we have the makeup of the ground report presenters as we have. It was deliberate because we did our research and we understand that. So I just want to make that point. But what she has to say again, I think, is very interesting.
Nice. What does she have to say?
The drugs on that boat brings death to persons here, destroys families and careers. Yes. Our Prime Minister is making it very emphatic, a very emphatic statement, lucid and unambiguous, yes. So let me just start it over as a short paragraph. The drugs on that boat brings death to persons here, destroys families and careers and fractures our society. Those drugs bring more death and despair than controversial weapons. Not controversial, but conventional weapons, meaning that guns and so on. We are in a war against drugs and trafficking. So, I mean, you can't want it even more deliberate than that from, of course, one prime minister, one leader of one country to another leader who has expressed a particular concern. And she continues, there will be consequences. I much prefer seeing drugs and gun traffickers blown to pieces than seeing hundreds of our citizens murdered each year because of drug-fueled gang violence. Oh my goodness. That is a hell of a statement, boy.
And here why I asked all of that. Right? Because remember, our program is a very interesting program. Because remember, the Colombian president now get involved asking. And you watch, she was very strong, iron woman for Maduro. She's answering back very, very, very smart to the Colombian president. She is showing that she's standing totally on the side of the Americans. So I asked all of that and wanted you to be able to describe everything because so we will have an understanding how Venezuela president is taking that statement now to the president of Colombia, and how the Colombian president will be taking that statement and all from the prime minister of Trinidad and Tobago, and to ask, you ain't find that, or do you believe that they will now watch Trinidad and Tobago? Yes, we have American protection, but you ain't find the aggression towards us will end up more than what it reached now. But what have we in a safe net is we have the backings of America. And let me say today or tomorrow, America is to back off.
Go to the top of the class, man. Go to the top of the class. That's the only reason why she would have, of course, made such bold and what I consider to be positively, but very firm statement. And at the same time, in addition to the fact that she knows that the Americans will come to our rescue, if any untoward thing would anger those elements, whether it be Colombians, whether of course it be the Venezuelans, is the fact that she is consistent. She started in that position and she continues in these intervening while of course is an unfolding, meandering story. But more importantly, she has always sought Trinidad and Tobago's interests in all of this. That is what I think is standing out very, very significantly, as opposed, because we can make a comparison now, as opposed to Rowley, who of course never criticized Maduro, never acknowledged that he was engaged not only in diabolical rule in Venezuela, autocratic rule in Venezuela, but the way that he treats his citizens, of course, and that is reflected by over 7 million of them having to migrate out of there and creating instability for surrounding communities, including that of Trinidad and Tobago. So she's consistent.
Oh, so all of that is like I get frightened now because I know we have a regiment and we have an army. And, you know, obviously I already know that she's getting on bad so because she assured of the American protection. But, you know, just putting my mind out of the oblivion of American protection and hearing our Prime Minister, the Honorable Kamala Persad, with that kind of talk with against Venezuela, who have an army, and Colombia, who have an army, compared to we chikichong kind of fat boys kind of chupidi, them would really and truly defend their own house. Yes, sir. So that's how I was watching it.
There's a quiver compared to what Venezuela has, both assets and of course and the human resource. I mean, it's chalk and cheese.
Yeah.
Chalk and cheese. Yeah.
So that's how I was watching it. Anyhow, Trinidad and Tobago, what else are there from everybody? Meanwhile, all the lines are open. Well, obviously the headliners is really and truly Kamala Persad answer back because it's big. We're talking about the geopolitics involved now, whereby Colombia president is asking the government of Trinidad and Tobago if they could organize a humanitarian suggestion to her. Could you go and locate the bodies and them and that kind of bacchanal thing there? And Kamala is saying, oh, that is not civilian boat, you know. And me going and locate no bodies for that. If it was ashore, that's a different ball game. But my boat and them, my Coast Guard boat and them is just to protect the borders from people coming in, not to go and locate no bodies of narco terrorists.
A short statement made by the police commissioner to confirm or deny the presence of those bodies, but he said that police commissioner Alistair said that on September 8th that it had not yet been determined if the bodies were the alleged drug traffickers, but it was being looked into.
Right, but then remember Lennox Smith, they must have an idea of the composition of those bodies, because that kind of bomb I see in there, I can't see no whole body coming up. Let me be real. I lay both so direct hit with a bomb. What bodies you seen going on and float from out there, come in there, so that to me that in pieces. So I don't think that is the body of them drug boy and them.
One of the 11.
A whole body, a whole body coming. No.
But a lot of forensic work will have to be done, and they will have to get evidence if they're really serious about identifying the bodies. They have to get forensic evidence, DNA, etc., from Venezuela and all of that. So that's a complicated matter. I not seen that reaching anywhere. If indeed, because they are saying that the condition of the body, the bruises and the apparent burns suggest that it might well be as a result of that particular incident that took place in our waters. Yeah.
Nice. So trying to go, the lines are open. The lines are open. Man, you know how long I trying to get into my Gmail from on a computer itself and not on my phone, and I ain't getting through at all. Go ahead, caller. Pleasant good morning to you. Where are you calling from? What's your contribution on the Gong Report this morning?
Pleasant good morning, Trinidad and Tobago, Andy and Uncle Lennox.
Yes.
Yeah. This morning, again, I called Mr. Lennox last night with regards to the police response to emergency calls. That issue what happened with the pilot, and it happened before with a WPC in St. Joseph. I think this needs action transparently, urgently. This carry me no week or no 2 weeks, I think. I called on the commissioner of police this morning that if he cannot do the right thing, because Uncle Lennox has sent a video for a while ago with the incident what happened in St. Joseph with the commissioner of police that come out and apologize on behalf of the service. Right?
Yes.
And in this case here now, the commissioner had something different to say when it happened again. And I think this we had to take him to task for this, because here we're going on. This is a serious thing. Again, we just can't receive 60-something brand new vehicles. Are you telling me an emergency call make, right? That some men adopt a man and have him in a certain area, right? The 999 transfer the call to a certain station in the Portland division. And them men was allowed to keep that man up there and remove the vehicle 12 hours after the time when the command center would have transferred that information to the nearest station. And them men had chance 12 hours after to remove the man vehicle from that particular area there and carry deep south Trinidad. Not because they get the pilot. They get the pilot because of a certain vigilante when he had the information and when he said that highlighted, so they continue with it. This warrant an immediate investigation and disciplinary action. And calling, I don't know if all they can get some attorney to come on the program and to guide law-abiding citizens who get rough treatment from police, where they get advice citizens, because I know to deal with them in the sense that if they're doing things out of the police standing order, I would just comply and then complain after. I will take legal proceedings against them after. But not everybody going through that. And the police complaint authority, something needs to be done with that institution, because you can't tell me all they have all these resources, all they're doing, putting in all these hours, doing an investigation concerning any matter. And when they conclude the investigation where there's wrongdoing by the police, the police commissioner can't give them no directives to do anything. Or the report can't do nothing by the DPP office. So when he sent out this institution functioning for it serves no purpose. Right? And this thing what happened here, together with the incident what transpired in St. Joseph. Let me show you something, if I can remember this. Some police leave St. Joseph Station, pass the whole of Central Division, end up in the Southern Division, in the furthest point in the Southwestern Peninsula, which is the Carcass, and kill a man. End up on video, all kind of thing. Residents make the police them take off their masks, all kind of thing. And nothing never come out of that. So you have a vehicle from a certain district, right? And leave that division and pass that next division, end up in that next division. Boy, watch what let me tell you something. You see all what's going on around in Venezuela, I think all Venezuela good in it. But you see what's going on inside of here? You see what's going on inside of here? Boy, watch for that. You see, if all know the tone, that incident with that phone call from the people in Cascade with that man that kidnapped there, that's sending a real negative message across it. That's showing that the criminals and them can take more chance now. All you understand what's going on with this thing. Uncle Lennox, see if you want the Honorable Prime Minister unless she dig deep into this. This can't continue because we are the stakeholders, right? The citizens and the law-abiding citizens are the stakeholders, right? We can't take this on the police. You see Mr. Guevara with that statement he making in the interview, that total disrespect. That total disrespect. So let somebody else make the contribution this morning. Right now, I see us listening. I look on listening.
Very angry young man. Of course.
Go ahead, caller. Next caller. Go ahead.
Good morning. Go ahead, caller.
Caller. Boy, your phone taking so long to come communicate. Right, go ahead. Oh boy, caller. Go ahead, caller. Morning. Call up.
Blessed morning, Andy.
Yeah, you're taking long. Yeah.
Blessed morning. I want to just touch on two matters quickly, if you all permit me. Firstly, I fully support and endorse our Prime Minister. Because at the end of the day, Venezuela been bringing all kind of stuff to Trinidad, the people coming, whatnot. We are nothing against personality, but at the end of the day, that free reign, it had to done. And if you notice with our strike, they say Venezuela fly some little 2x4 plane over the US warships. But Venezuela know they don't want that kind of heat. At the end of the day, them destroyers and them the front end. They don't have to go close to Venezuela to do nothing. So Maduro and them, they don't want that bacchanal. And you have to be real, you have to support the Prime Minister. At the end of the day, the Venice come, the gruesome killing it going up real dread, and let me be real, let me watch the amount of heads getting cut off, people knee missing, they're finding people in bar and all this kind of thing. Why is all of them not on that? It had them who on that bringing that drug trade energy here, right? So this is my humble view. I fully support the Prime Minister. We have to take our stand. We have to do something. You understand? We have to stand up. Become a Duran them as bully. You know the people in talking about the videos where the Justice Minister and them taking and the same Trinidad as them own and they coming back to take Trinidad and all this kind of thing. People mustn't be one side and we must not show to memory at the end of the day. At the end of the day, I stand with my Prime Minister. Venezuela and them have to take their time before they try to bully Guyana the other day. You have to stand up to bullies, you know. Diplomacy do work with some people. It just do work. So my next point is this. Now, the Port of Spain Corporation Transport Division is real madness going on down there. There's a new manager there for a while. The place running to the ground. It's alleged they are doing we want, they want to shut it down because he has some interest in Songforge. But it's the first place in the world I see a tenant that want to move on landlord. So there's a lot of madness going on in the corporation whereby they have workers working on Saturday and Sunday for one day pay and all these kind of things. When they ask him, he saying he don't know, the manager doing what he wants. So we asked Mr. Amin for a meeting in the transport division. Right, because what going on is they're not maintaining the trucks on them parking up, and the so-called friendly contractors coming in and doing the workers' work. So we asked for a meeting with Ms. Amin to iron out these issues. Because how I see it is no PNM Health Corporation. It's Trinidad and Tobago and it's taxpayers' money at the end of the day. We had to stop the strippiness. Right? Now because it's a PNM Health, we had to stop the strippiness and let me deal holistically and service the people areas. You can't be sending out one truck Saturday and one truck Sunday to clean Woodbrook, St. James, St. Clair, Federation Parks, all these places. So what going on is, Uncle Lennox, what going on is, you're having a truck out there with no support staff. The mayor and them don't want no support staff. So drivers going out, it have no mechanics on standby, no tire men on standby, no men to wash the trucks when the trucks come in. There's madness. So the trucks and them alone is a hazard because the trucks moving dirty right through. You understand? So we need Ms. Amin to come in and let me set this thing straight. We have no faith in the union. Right now, somehow we wish we could go on a different union because that union president, clearly, he playing real games. He quiet all the time and workers going through real dread of pressure. So we don't want to part of him. So right now, some of us do a petition. If we could get to go on that different union, it would be real nice. So that president clearly, you don't see he colors red. He paint the union office red. And we not on that. It are some of us workers who level-minded. We want betterment for the country, for the children, and for everybody. We not in the red thing. So we don't know how he align himself. You understand? We see how he align himself, and we know that with our president right now. The workers going
That's
through too much.
Trade union?
Yes, sir. Yes.
All right.
Yeah, amalgamated workers union.
Yeah. We would have had our suspicions and our comments about. Yeah, when they run quick and took the 4%. Yeah.
That is PNM. That is a PNM union.
Yeah.
Yes, and they standing, and right now we getting real oppressed and they saying nothing. They staying quiet. Imagine workers working Saturday for one day pay when they're supposed to get a double. They're shutting down the whole place. Right? It is alleged, I telling you, it is alleged. Next door, which is Songforge, the mayor has interest there. So the whole thing is them finding corporation is an eyesore to them. Yeah.
Wow.
To provide a member of the team with a handsome contract. A building contract. Yeah.
Exactly.
Rental, yes.
So because if you look right now, if you watch the condition of Songforge, how it's nice and pretty, and they pitch the car park and watch the corporation here, the corporation in a mess, so they naturally let the corporation go down. You understand? The corporation here in a mess. So at the end of the day, this is my two humble contributions. I support my Prime Minister full 100, right? Because she bringing back the place and the crime really dropping. But at the end of the day, we need some help from that union. That union ain't doing nothing and the workers getting relics, especially in transport division. Have a blessed day, gentlemen.
Before you go.
Simple, my friend.
What time the union office is open? We go make a call to the union complaining about what it is they're not fighting for you all. You there, caller? Or you done gone?
Well, he said with respect to the preference of private contractors to do the garbage, the scavenging, and so on, as why the corporation's vehicles are left there doing nothing.
And the union rather the private.
Yeah, and then of course that will lead to other things. There is redundancy possibility.
When they could let the
you don't
workers
need
do
all
it.
that worker, you don't need all that worker, and so on and so forth. So people's job may be in jeopardy as well.
All right, we go make send me the union number now. Get that union number there from me. Let me call and find out about that. We go try to talk to whoever. Let me move smart. Go ahead, caller. Next caller. Morning.
Andy, Mickie, Lennox, and Tobago Central here. Pleasant. Good morning. Andy, my little front burner is too short and sweet, just as usual. You see, kudos to that caller who called in a short while ago, before this one was just left. Kudos to him, considering about the police service issue. Right? We asking our ministers, our commissioner of police, and whoever in authorities, our present government, to please look into the situation with the police and them. Because apparently, Andy, in this police service and them, it have gangs. We said it already and we'll say it again. We would like our ministers or whoever is in charge of these officers and them to look in and start to screen and order these police officers and them. The police service in a total chaos. These people will be getting serious reports from citizens, law-abiding citizens, and that does not act on it. This is straight across the board, right? Because once you have on that uniform, you represent something, which is the police service, or the army, or the coast guard, or whatever the case is, right? We asking the authorities to start to run some audits on them police officers and them. And that goes from the police service, in the army, from the coast guard, from every service attached to Trinidad and Tobago. We asking our great political leader to please send out your ministers to look in and send their right people to deal with these kind of issues. Because these people and them linked together with gangs. It are the 6, the 7, the 8, the 9, the 10, it may have 0 and all to Andy. Right? And this needs to stop. Right? It just can't continue going on. And just the other day in the central zone here, a youth man get gunned down. And in the funeral, I am telling it had police in the beginning of the cemetery, in the cemetery, and in the end of the cemetery. And let me tell you something. Trinidad and Tobago, listen to this. Within in that funeral there, it had a lot of, you know where I'm coming from? The gang. And the out with what they're rolling with in front of the police. You could tell me this is right in Trinidad and Tobago what's going on here? At Trinidad and Tobago? So, how come the ones on them who have to protect and serve is not dealing with whoever they're seeing with these things? It is a serious thing going on in this country. And you see the police service, it is in a corrupted, nasty state. It is a shame and disgrace in this country. And we asking the authorities to start to audit these police officers and them. Because let me tell you something to Andy and Trinidad and Tobago. If you look at certain police officers right now, it's who are beard, who are tattoo. Back in the days, you could have never gone into the service for them things. How all of a sudden, these police officers and them see the female and them, they were going to make a report, the nails long like claws. They can't even write properly when a report. You understand? Play talk, bad manners. Who don't like it, go back into something and do something otherwise. Only ready for that kind of service in the country. Do it with pride and dignity. You understand? Because here what's going on. You see that man with that pilot will get kidnapped there? The man could have lost his life. Thank God he's alive today. And there's a raw failure concerning about who received that call from the resident who says so whatever it is was taking place. There's a raw failure on behalf of the police service. And there are many things that if they had work on things fast enough, things cannot be avoided in this country. Trinidad and Tobago, these are the simplest things that we have to look as citizens, look at and draw it to the authorities' attention and then look into it. Do not put a blind eye to it because it's going to get more and more worse. You understand? Do not wait until it reaches your doorstep. You hear something, say something. You see something, say something. You understand? This is why we are here on the platform, on the ground. And thank God and kudos to Andy, Mickie, and Lennox Smith for always giving us that voice to be heard so that the relevant authorities and them can really know about the situation and let them looking into it. Because this is something, as we're going to tell you, if we do not put a mouth or say something towards it, it's going to get more and more worse in this country, right? And one more thing, Andy, we would like to know what the army is really doing in this country. Is it that it's just a dress up from head to toe in uniform and just rock back and let's collect a salary? We want to see the army out there some more. You understand what I'm saying? We don't want nobody coming and see. No one to walk and collect a salary when the month comes. Right? We want them to go out there and perform. Out there are serious crimes right now. And that goes to all other services as well too. It's a serious business. If all the can't do the work, leave it, resign and don't look for nothing behind. Give the next person a chance to do it. It's simple as that. Because out here people sit down with the passes and the dust falling on it and they're waiting to get applied. To go and apply for a job to get a program.
You pause it like you was. You pause it like you was. You're talking, you go good, you're not going to end. And like you see Penny or Rowley or Stuart Young or one of them 13 and them now stop in front of you there.
Hey, we gotta run them shaitan. You see them bad spirit? That is 13. You see 13? 13 is a real blight number and you only know that. Them is the 13 bad spirit will remain back. But here what's going on? We have a remedy for that. You understand? They say prayers conquer anything and prayers move mountain and prayers gonna move them 13 bad spirit out of there. Because them just pulling a space and a hole in it. Because Trinidad and Tobago really want to hear them there, see them there, they want to even know what direction I'm going in. I tell you, it's realness we're dealing with. And if them can't perform, right out from your partner. All they was there for 10 years. All they do for Trinidad and Tobago, nothing. All they is add plus take away equals nothing. That's what the PNM stands for. Wickedness and more wickedness and more wickedness. I said fire, burn the PNM.
Oh,
and the PNM can't come back there.
All right.
And you see Penny, you need to try and go and sit down and really understand if there's what kind of agenda is first to begin with. Yeah, nobody really does your program in that kind of way. Miss Lady, you're not making any sense. Go in a corner and sit down. Only better to keep some kind of classes after school and train. Or they sell for some kind of thing, boy, because all they making no sense at all. You just all over the place just going and making a certain noise. Sit down and watch performance by a real political leader, please, ma'am. You ain't making any sense at all. Enough is enough at all here. I say all they done gone, waiting to be buried and finished off, rotten and forgotten. In this island called Trinidad and Tobago, this island too blessed to have blind people like them. So I say PNM nothing, and we always will roll with anti-cam in performance and good mystery store back. Unity is the code, left and listen, Andy, and it's that.
Oh boy, and it's that. Next caller, pleasant good morning to you.
Yeah, pleasant good morning again, Andy. I had called just now with the arm workers, it's you.
Yes, right. What did
yes,
so Lennox corrected what he said there. He said that the union choosing private contractors to do garbage collection.
No. What I'm saying, right, not the union choosing it, the union allowing the management free way to do what they want and not applying the pressure, and the management and them choosing private contractors over the workers, which I believe is more money than them. They bring out the workers to pay them because they're watching workers small money. That is what going on.
Oh, so the union stay quiet on that while they're supposed to be telling when they're supposed to be telling management, why them private contractors, why it have Port of Spain garbage truck and thing here, you know. It have
exactly.
Why are they bypassing the Port of Spain garbage trucks and trucks that is pick up all the old stove and fridge, or it's called that now, them 3-ton truck?
Later 7-ton 5-ton big trucks where they just a clean up campaign, but here what going on now, Andy.
Yeah.
And Uncle Mickie.
Uncle Lennox.
You see when Lennox, you see, when it has something where you call hungry management and hungry people, because them fellas watching workers little money, boy. The corporation is one of the lowest paid state entities, everybody know that. And then watching when I'm on get a little Saturday or Sunday, a little double time, they don't know 3,000 or 5,000 again. We have family to see about, and workers who sit down in City Hall like air condition whole day, we picking up their dog, old pad. They could get choke in your hand. We washing stink, dirty truck. The kind of work we doing and the nastiness, we just started playing them and touching that. And they want to watch our man little scrums. You understand?
Oh, so
and
what? So you all used to get to come out on a weekend and do extra duties so all your money to go?
Yes, but besides that now, it's not just about the money growing, you see, when you don't have the weekend function and the trucks and them just run down because the only organization I seen where you're having trucks, you're having multiple trucks running back with this, that, and you're shutting down the garage and everything. So trucks coming in and park up and trucks running with no maintenance. And this is what leading to the problem.
So the garage that's supposed to be maintaining those trucks with the mechanics and all those things, that shut down.
Yeah, that's shutting down on the weekend from Friday. That shut right down. So trucks running out there.
All right, just now. But it used to be up and running on the weekend where they're fixing the trucks.
Yes, as this new manager come, who they say is alleged is the mayoral partner, everything shut right down, right down. The only ball and they want to cut costs.
Right, hold on. Lennox, you have a pen there? Who is they say the new manager is? And he's the new manager for what? Lennox?
For transport division.
Hey, Lennox. Yeah, boy, take this information from the man. Listen to what he's saying there. We go and call there. Right. Tell Lennox who is the new manager. What is the new manager name?
His name is Anthony Bonio.
Anthony Bonio?
Yeah. Bonio, yeah.
Anthony Bonio. That is a new manager. And he now come in.
He come in some months ago, and since this man reached the whole of transport in a mess.
So when this, so he's the transport manager in Port of Spain.
Yes, he's the acting manager for transport and cleansing. That whole division there, he running that.
Right. So he's the manager for transport and cleansing. The deputy manager.
Right, but here what is going on?
The acting manager. Wait, I'm trying to get my information so I call. Right, so you say he's the temporary manager.
He's the acting manager for a while, some months now he acting.
So he's the acting manager. He take over from the manager before Lennox Smith, and they're saying this acting manager is alleged he's a good friend of the mayor of Port of Spain.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
He's also alleged. Wait. Oh God, boy. I had to get right. Wait. Right. So he's also saying that the mechanics and them, the maintenance people for all them equipments in Lennox Smith used to work on a weekend. They shut them down from working over the weekend, and they're only working Monday to Friday now. Nice.
Correct.
Right. So give me a number now that you know we'll get you direct to the office.
Just now. Let me get a number for transport and cleansing.
Yeah, transport and cleansing. And I ask for that man. Well, Lennox go do that. Because I might get on too bad now. Lennox go come with the big words and thing. Because them big word man and them is who they are sure that man he might be know them people who you gain subcontract. He's the one too that the union is saying nothing but the subcontracting out the work and not letting all do the work.
This is real madness.
All right, what work that they subcontract out that you know about so far?
Yeah, what it is, right? You see, like the garbage and them thing. It has. I want to call the company name. It have a company with green and yellow. As the trucks down, you see this company with green and yellow coming. But one know you know the company. There's a green and yellow coming with one set of compactors and they're cleaning up all the workers' areas, right? And
all
then
right. So as all your equipment's done, they're calling in a company and paying them to do the work.
Green and yellow.
No, tell me, no, we don't do it so. Oh, where's the company name?
I think it's waste disposal, I think. Yeah, them just come in and clean up all the work.
Right. Waste disposal is Trinidad and Tobago Lennox Smith? Or waste disposal is what? That is a Trinidad and Tobago company or that is a private company?
Yeah, the green and
private waste disposal. They have a base. Well, they were in Sealands. I think they have something up Trinity, I believe it is.
All right, so that is waste disposal. Remember that I tried to write down that waste disposal, coming and do the work that workers could do. All right, you got the phone number?
That's not I'm going to you know.
I wonder if this person give me a right number. Somebody give me write up a number 666-6666. Right you? That real 6 boy. That like a devil. Eh? Right you?
That's not trying to get the number for
I the market the beast.
That was saying they died at this Travadine fella, you know. That this Travadine fella, what's what you putting up there? Unless he on chopping this with me. What kind of 666 thing is that for the people? Yeah, give me the number.
I ain't seen the number coming up here. That's not trying to get from
Wait, here it is. This is your number here. Call. Come off the phone. Let me take some other calls and send me a text. I did get. One of your people will know. Call one of your people get number. If this one will walk, next one will walk in. We're going straight there. Yeah, and send it to my phone there.
All right, cool.
All right. Javadin, don't be on me with that, you know. What kind of 666 bacchanal thing is that there? So, if I know the number, we're writing up that for me for. Yeah, let me continue taking some calls by the time we go call and find out. Because that amalgamated security, them people and them, we call in their head office too, We call and why it is them and looking into that. And why they're allowing a private company, when trucks are done, to come in to do work what workers could do. And only not standing up for the workers. That is what the workers are saying. Yeah, that amalgamated thing, they them take 4%. That's a P&M union. You know all the P&M unions.
Out of the blues.
Yeah. And they don't join with nothing with the rest of the union, so you know. Under the man, yeah. Let me take a next call. Morning, caller.
Yeah, good morning. I'm calling from the US.
Yeah, hold on the US.
No.
Hold on. Hey,
Yeah.
Lennox Smith, heard he say, Waste Disposal is a state-owned company. Remember, we can't make ourselves stupid. You tell me that is a private.
Waste Disposal?
That's what they're saying. That's the way right up.
I know swim call, not waste disposal, but I'll check it out.
Check it out and make sure now. Because we can't, because if they're calling state to do state work, that's different ball. That's not private. We go look stupid there. Go ahead, caller.
Yeah, good morning. I'm calling concerning, you want the people to comment on Arima, what statement he made the day before. And nobody's made anything about it. And he always had this habit of accusing people who disagree with him of not knowing what they're talking about.
Who is that?
Arima.
Mr. Arima, the Spanish
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
All
so,
right.
you know, the police have a thing that they say, whatever you have the right to remain silent, and whatever you say could and would be held against you. So I'm basing what I'm saying on what he see. So he say that he's a Venezuelan citizen, and he's supporting Maduro and living in Trinidad, and he criticizing Kamala. You understand?
No.
So if Trinidad
Did he say he's a? Did he say? Did
he's a
he?
Venezuelan citizen?
No, I don't
He
think.
said
I think he's a.
Yes,
citizen of
he said he's a citizen of Venezuela. Yeah, he said that when he was talking, I heard him say it. I have a very good memory, you know, and I was listening
All right,
well.
I'm going and call him back to find out about that. But
Yeah. So wait now. Well, here what I want to tell you.
Yeah.
So if Trinidad and Venezuela fighting, who he will be defending? Right? I won. 2, the next thing he talked about was that Venezuela is a sovereign state, and they have the election, and they have a leader that they voted for. Now, what he didn't tell you, there was allegation by the opposition then that, you know, just how they have the EBC running the election, there was an elected body that is to oversee the election. And he fired all of them who was elected and replaced them by selected people that he put in to secure his election. Right? And then remember, Arima was saying during the election, he was going about getting the Venezuelan to go in the embassy and vote for the election. I don't know if you remember that also. He had said that. He was encouraging people to go and vote for the election. But what I want to ask is, if them is a sovereign nation, they have a leader, he said the government is running good, why the people of Venezuela running all over the world and leaving the country? Why they abandoning the country? Why did they remain there? Because they have a leader and they have a good country. They voted in the election. Why they running? And why the ones who they want to deport from America, why they refusing to take them? You understand? Why the country that were they born and they grow up? Why they refusing to take them back? Why the leader refusing to take them? I would like to know the answers to them thing. And they have people all about it from Venezuela who refusing to go back to the country. Why they doing that? And I'm glad to hear that Kamala want to send them back. Because when I was in Trinidad and they come in, I was there when they was coming in. I was hearing the thing that they plan to do in Trinidad, where they wanted to align themselves with the
Right,
rich
but
people.
how recent you heard Kamala Prasad says the Honorable Prime Minister said that she wanted to send them back? I know that was in the elections, but did you hear that recently here?
No, I didn't hear it recently, I think, but I heard she said she wanted to send them back. And
Yeah, that's in the elections.
What she said she going to do, she just do it.
All right, that is true. That is true too.
Yeah, so that is why I am saying that I expect that she will start to send back some of them, because there's a lot of them who keep coming and going on. They just go back to the country for the welfare and come back in Trinidad. You know, that's why they had that boat movement back and forth. I don't know if you know that. The fishermen do the fishing again. You know, they started charging them to and from Venezuela to collect the money. They're making big money on that. You understand? You do the fishing again. And next thing I want to tell you, but people talk about the Venezuelan thing. When I used to work CJOS, they had problem with the Guardia Nationals, the military army for the patrol on the water. You should run down the fishermen from Trinidad and shoot behind them and them kind of thing. We had plenty complaints in CJOS from the government. The government can tell you that.
All right, well, thanks so much, Davey. Thanks so much to Trinidad Revolutionary Soldiers. They said today she's sending 200 to Venezuela. Right? Trinidad Revolutionary say, Andy, it's on today's Express, 200 Venezuelans to be deported.
I saw that,
Yeah,
but
so
I don't like to quote the media until I could confirm it. Because when I was in Trinidad, what I used to do, remember when they bring in Patrick Chocolingo in the media, what I used to do, I used to cut out article and investigate myself to know what they reported was true. And I still just do that. So like when you hear people who talking about, I don't know, this one don't know what they're talking about. You had the people in America here who want to criticize the Democrat Party, they really attack you. But them knows nothing, and they just tell you, you don't know nothing. I wonder if any one of them know about the Mockingbird. You know it's the Mockingbird? That is where the CIA had infiltrated the media and put in propaganda as news. And recently here, the head of the intelligence thing, say it is still happening. So plenty of them just come out and think. Remember I was asking about the price of egg? Let me tell you, when Trump leave office, egg was $1.49 for 18 regular price. And on sale, I used to buy it for 79 cents for 18. When Biden leave office, that same 18 egg was over $11. And on sale, you say get for $10.49 and them thing. $10 from 79 cents to $10.49 for the same 18 egg after Biden leave office.
Hello.
And now the price is
mute Lennox, mute.
Yeah, now the price of egg is $1.99, $2.99 for the same 18.
Right, so it dropping, egg price dropping.
Yeah, so when these people who just call you and tell you, you see the price of egg, they are misinforming you all. And you remember they talk about the cases and they with Trump? Any one of them tell you that the case with Letitia James, where he was convicted and had to pay a fine of over $300 million.
Yeah.
The appeal court overturned that ruling and that whole case.
All right.
You understand? Right. They don't tell you that when these things are corrected.
Thank
the
you.
Propaganda they put out, they don't ever correct it. They don't ever, because the media don't do it and them don't do it.
All right.
So
partner.
thank you very much.
No problem. Yeah. Oh boy, ex-police officer. Very good. I hear laughing at some of those comments, and then people are saying, well, right, the Venice just riding on our backs, right? So everybody say send them back. They say, just school say, Arima one of 200 to be deported. So they want Arima to be one out of the 200 to be deported back, right? Well, Anthony say, Andy, that's those who are in the prison. that will be sent back to Venezuela. Those are them in the prison system. Right. But what made me laugh hard when I see, I think is Mr. Jairaj Singh, right? I think something he said, let me see if I find where he did say that it make me laugh. Oh, he say Arima is biting the hands that is feeding him if he's really a citizen of Venezuela. And then he calling and getting that always say protecting Venezuela. But yet still he live in Trinidad. Why he didn't go back there and fight for Maduro? You understand? Make sure America and pick him up nowhere to bomb wherever he is. Guards, everybody are wrong. Everybody going in. When they find Maduro, you know. From the time they locate Maduro, is everybody going. Everybody going. Right, let me take this call because I have someone I want to engage Lennox with. Go ahead. I find you kind of weary this morning. Go ahead, caller.
Pleasant morning to the ground report, Andy Williams, the Pitbull.
Yes.
Good morning, Andy. Tabakit here.
Tabakit, a pleasant good morning to you. Lennox Smith in the house too, man.
Lennox Smith, my dear English brother Lennox, and to Mickie K. Now, Andy, since we're talking Venezuela, I think it's a good time for us to raise this. Now, I am supporting the Honorable Prime Minister and my political leader 100%. Let me put that out first.
But she talking bigger, boy? Oh, God.
Right.
Lucky thing we had the support. Lucky thing we had the support America, you know. Yeah, we didn't have the support America there with that kind of talk. I'd have been frightened, you know. Oh, God.
Right. And secondly, I also support sending back immigrants. But let me give my perspective now.
Right, but watch before you give your perspective, I just want to add in one thing. I agree with sending back immigrants, but not only who in the jail. Send back all.
Right. No, hold on. Let me correct you on that. And I would want to be quite honest with you. And I'm glad you pushed the envelope. So let's have this meticulous discussion. So as I told you before, I support the Prime Minister, send them back home. But Andy, let me face it. Trinidadians is the most laziest people. Let me start here. Look, the garbage truck that passing by me, Andy. The driver tell me try with all locals. He says some of them saying they can't take the scent and some of them are walking nowhere. While I agree to send them back, those who is in contravene with the law and you're not behaving and your paper is not straight, send you back home. Andy, you well aware you do business. It have certain areas you want to bring the local. They want to work at all. That's why you see these people taking up work all about, you know. Andy, they're very committed. When they're doing something, they do it.
Yeah, but to be fair too, Mr. Tabakit, it's for small money. Money to pay the locals. You don't want to pay the locals the right money. But the Venezuelans will work for 150 a day and the small money.
We go come to that. We come into that. Now, while I hear you, that is with small money. Let's face it, Andy. Based upon the business that you're doing, sometimes, and it's not all Venezuelan, they get smarter. They're not working for that small money anymore. They're leaving the worker. These people, they're very intelligent. Yeah, they're leaving the work now. That is why you realize sometimes many of the, I wouldn't call them big grocery, used to see a set of them. They're leaving the work now. They're consulting with one another. But what I'm saying here, Andy, let me repeat this because it have some confusion maker listening. So let me repeat this. Full support to the Prime Minister, full support to the government. Send them home. Those who is illegal, those who committing crime. But you see those, Andy, who working day to day and they behaving themselves and they paper straight. This is my perspective this morning. Leave them. Yeah? If you contravene against the law, your paper not straight, and even Kamala said so. She said so in one of the press briefings 2 months ago. She said, as long as your paper straight and you're not contravening against the law and you're not running,
all right, let me ask something. Paper straight as in they are registered to pay NIS health charge just like all of we, than going in the hospitals and using we medicine and thing for free. And when we go there all done, all right, they're making a set of babies in this country. And all we go, that come like, I have a house, I cater for 5 children, but about 20 of them come and living off of me.
All right, so can I speak
so
to that?
So fair is fair. So long as they can be, the good ones can be registered proper. And PNS just like all of we. Send them home too.
And hold on, this is the point that I am making. You see, Andy, let's face it, since you raised that, and let's chat a bit.
Here why. If that happen, the businessmen, remember it means these is registered Venezuelans now. They have to pay them the minimum wage, or over the minimum wage. They will be contributing to the health charge and all the things that we who have a salary just have to pay. That's the different ball game. You see, you on that talk they about. So long as they're working and they're working honest.
Hold on.
Wait, let me say it and then you go talk. Wait. You see where you wait. Okay. You did Mr. Tabaki telling the country, the illegal ones alone send them home. Who in crime. But the ones who walking with a garbage truck, groceries, bars, all over the place, making a set of baby. We house cater for 1.4 million, but we are 1.6 million. A whole 200 people, 100,000 people more on we budget. And they're not contributing to the household. And you telling me,
can I counteract that statement?
Counteract? How you counteracting that, boy? Go ahead.
Well, let me go there. I want to show you something. While we understand the bilateral treaty and border, and do you know it have other countries where it have citizens beside in the Caribbean? Do you know it have citizens from all over the world in Trinidad? And I'll tell you this, and since we're having an open discussion, I still maintain that regardless what country, whether you're going to Trinidad, United Kingdom, India, Africa, I still believe in the freedom of movement of human beings. Let me be honest. And let's say for 1 minute in the discussion, I remove Venezuela and I'm looking at the international best practice and the international best treaty. I still believe in the freedom of human being. And when I say so, you must be free to go to any part of the world as long as you're within the law. That's that charter, and I think Lennox might. I don't know how we will look at it, but I will tell
you how I look at it. I look at it as, again, my house, I cater for 5 or 6 people. You telling me you believe in freedom of people. 10 more people can just come in my house dress up and contributing and not contributing to the upliftment and maintenance of my house.
Let me say this to you. Could you permit me, give me the mic for 1 minute, please? You there?
You go ahead. You ask the mic. You ask the mic,
right.
You go ahead.
Do you know, let me say this, in regards to the Labor Industrial Act, do you know that they must pay the Venezuelan proper wages and they could go to the labor board? You could interview any labor officer from the Ministry of Labor and they'll tell you it is true. They can go to the labor board right now, any Venezuelan, and they can say that they are not getting the minimum wage. The Ministry of Labor will take action. There is a law for that. So in regards to where they underpaying them, probably that's those who came and is not documented and hiding and illegal. They just cannot report it.
You see how you're flipping the game there on Mr. Tabakit? Will you tell me about? No, why? Again, Tabakit, again, you go on defending the Venezuelans that they still have. They still I tell you, it come like that.
No,
that
no, I never
oh
say
God,
all.
well, listen to what he's saying. You can't disagree with me unless you're hearing what I'm saying.
Okay, come on.
It come like you're supporting the Venezuelan again because look, you're telling me now that them also have the opportunity as illegal immigrants without paying VAT and health surcharge, just like all of we, to go to our labor board to seek redress.
Yes, that is
wait. When we own people, we own people. We own people. When it comes to wickedness, with them employers and them, when we go to them labor board to get redress, we can get a free service again to them. That is a free service again to them. And you don't want to address the issue of so long as they are working, let them get work permits. So with work permits, they'll be able to pay all the things that we working class in Trinidad and Tobago paying. We NIS, we health surcharge, and based on the amount of money we working for, we VAT. But no, you only talking about and wanting and making bed for Venezuelan people. But you're not making the same bed to make sure that the disadvantage of immigrants in our country working for small money and we locals calling them lazy. Yes, we are lazy locals, but it are locals that will stand firm. Here it is. I'm not working for that $120 for this work. The money you're supposed to pay is this amount. It are locals will say that. Simple. Trinidad and Tobago. It have locals that will say that. And they're right. But the Venezuelans will say, now I go work for the 120 for the day. At the end of the day, my whole main issue is, if they are registered, because they're saying about legally registered and the registered ones, let them goddamn add to the GDP of this country when they come into paying their NIS and health surcharge. And the ones that are not registered, get them to hell out we country.
Can I make a point?
Go ahead.
Right. In regards to that work permit that you're talking about, let me let you know. I don't know if people will inform you. Yes, it occurs. Yes, the employer could go to the Ministry of Labor, and yes, there is a lot of them who working on a work permit here through the companies and so on. It do happen.
That is stupid talk. Bring the evidence. Are we saying it? Mr. Tabaki, bring the evidence.
Hold on. You can listen to
well, then
what
don't
I'm
say
saying.
that. Don't say that then. I don't know evidence.
Yes, I
you don't.
say
All right.
That is the fact.
Bring the evidence.
Could you allow me? Well, allow me, please.
All right. Let me hear.
I'm begging you.
Go ahead. Bring the evidence.
I know. Right. I know you is the host of the program.
So what? Tabaki, you telling me them two that on the garbage truck that picking up your garbage better than the locals? That them are work permits. You telling me them are work permits?
But you don't want me to speak. If you allow me to speak, you will see what I'm going with this.
Yes or no? Do you know that for sure that them have work permits?
I don't know of that particular contract.
All right, don't tell me they have work permits. Well, don't tell me they have work permits.
You're badgering me. You're badgering me. If you give me the opportunity to speak in fairness,
go ahead in
fairness.
Allow
me, please?
Go ahead in fairness. Go ahead in fairness.
Right. What I'm saying to you, there is a lot of foreigners, including Spanish, that I know people who have company.
Don't change the game. The game is the Venezuelans right now. Don't tell me about the other people and them. Them not here no 200,000.
All right.
They come like one or two come in my house.
Hello.
Go ahead.
Hello. I know of Spanish people who working for companies where the boss, the companies will apply to the Ministry of Labor. They will apply for temporary work permit. Before it ends, they go back and renew it. Yes, it's happening. I'm sticking to my guns here. It's happening. I'm not just saying this to hear my voice or to try to overpower you in conversation. No, I'm speaking with the letter of the law. I am the kind of person calling. I'm not calling just to hear myself here. When I come here, I'm factual. Yes, via the Ministry of Labor, there is a lot of companies, they go to the Ministry of Labor and they get work permit, and it's either they get an extension or they didn't get it. Yes, it's here. Yeah, so I don't want to spend too much time, but I would like Lennox, Andy, when I come off, if he would weigh in, I would be thankful. I thank you for engaging me, Mr. Pitbull. I thank you.
Bang, 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 bang.
Which one of them bar workers and them Venezuelan bar workers and them getting them hard work permit? Huh? All over the country. Which one of them Venezuelan workers, man or woman that working in the groceries and them hard work permit? Tell me. Which one of them that them dental offices and them hiring? No. Hiring Venezuelan dentists that is not registered to work in Trinidad. Hard work permit. I see Venezuelans and all down driving taxi now. I see Venezuelans driving big trucks, backhoes, excavators. I seen them all on construction sites doing big buildings. Tell me which one of them have work permits. I'm not saying that some of them ain't have a work permit, you know. But I am saying out of 100%. But let me say use the percent. Out of 100 of them, there is 100 of them in this country. I believe 3 of them alone with businessmen that know the right thing legitimately have work permits. Give and take, I will give Tabakit 2 more to the 100. Out of 100 of them Venezuelans in we country here, I will still say 5 of them have the work permits. And companies apply for work permits for some of them who is really professionals. This man talking, Tabakit. I'm a partner, you know. Like if them Venezuelan and them, like it's brother, how much of them really? You tell me the ministry say that some of them. Give me the statistics, how much? How much? And you want Lennox help? Lennox, go up on the website. Find out for me. Through the Ministry of Labor, Tabakit say he want you to do that. How much registered illegal aliens, Venezuelans and we country apply for work permit there? Let me compare how much of them apply and get work permit, or the companies apply for work permits for them when it have over 200 and something, nearly 300 and something thousand of them here. How much of them? What? 2,000? 3,000 out of nearly 300,000 have work permit? Check the statistics, Lennox Smith.
You have to check two databases, the Ministry of Labor and that of Immigration as well.
And it have Venezuelans here operating business too. And hiring Venezuelans. I always had a problem with the Chinese and them opening grocery and they want to hire locals there. Because 2 garbage man come in and pick up Tabaki garbage better than the 2 locals who don't want to smell. Nice people choice. Through the corporations, all you know how much the contractor, they charge for a garbage collector, one of the men who just pick up. All kind of $800 and something, $900 for one a day. You know how much they pay them a day? That is just like security work. The company, they charge the companies for a fireman, a fire officer might be about 200 an hour or 100 an hour. But again, the fire officer in the security company, at $30. And the company makes $70. Some of them companies, security firms, charging for a farm officer per hour $150. But getting that fireman 40 hour one thing. Laborers, the normal Batu officers, them company charging the company because they put on how much they paying the worker, in the contracts. But outside of that, they paying the worker less. It's the same thing that's going on for offshore. Where they be Halliburton, this one, that one, and I know what I'm telling all you. And it's the same thing for them garbage trucks and them. They put in the corporation. They paying the driver $2,000 a day for driving the truck. But they only giving the driver $500 for the day. Or $300 a day. They're doing the same thing for the loaders. So when them two Venezuelans working for $200 a day, 2 and 2, $400. But in real, them charging about $800 and $900 for one of them each a day. And when the locals saying, yeah, where it is, all them paying HL because that is not no permanent work where them people and them garbage companies paying these fellas and them make sure they have a proper health policy or health insurance and those kind of thing, knowing that these people picking up all them nasty thing, and if they get choked, blood could meet blood, they could get sick bad. Those loaders supposed to be paid well and have a good package. They don't do that. And locals knows that. And locals rather see me taking that chance at all last end. Some people will, some people won't. It is what it is. And them don't care, them Venezuelan, to collect a 120, 140 for the day. Picking up garbage. But we locals don't want that. Let's be real. The country squeezing, the contractors squeezing the workers too. And then we'll come and squeeze Trinidadian and Tobagonians more. It's cheap labor and unregistered. Cheap labor and unregistered migrants that are not paying their just dues, just like all of us. Health surcharge, NIS. And don't tell me, some people sell me, well, when they go to the grocery, they're paying VAT. But we paying, when we working, we paying health surcharge, NIS. And when we go to buy, we still paying the same thing just like them. So we are at a disadvantage. We are at a disadvantage. Because we already have to pay, the working class already have to pay for our own brothers and sisters, Trinbagonians, that are not working class, that don't pay NIS and health surcharge. And then we end up inheriting 200 and something thousand more. What Tabaki can sell me right about that? We need to send them back. And who want to stay here must be registered. And so long as they're working, pay the just due, just like all of us.
Bang, 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 bang.
The Ground Report with Mickie K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
And yes, it have other migrants here from other countries, because that was some people go sell. Well, now only the Venezuelan, them not here with all of that. Them not here in how much African it are here from Africa or Nigeria or Grenadian or Ghanese? Not like that. You might have about a 500 illegal Jamaican 1,000, 2,000. Look at a little bit. Vincent Shannon and all them they so. Jamaica, all of them, right? Them is a part of curriculum. That guys still my brothers and sisters from CARICOM. We all have an entwined culture. Oh, you telling me about Venezuelan and all you feeling sorry for them. All you want to feel sorry for we all your own children. That remind me of people who don't like their own children but they like other people own.
Bang, 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 bang.
Don't do good for other people's children but they don't do good for their own. I could understand the ones that give up on the children based on the children indiscipline and the children end up rogue. And they talk and they give up. You realize you keep your distance, I go keep mine. But you telling me now instead of adopted children because adopted children have to have paperwork and an adopted child will be in the system. You telling me I must feel sorry for Venezuelans that taking all my people work, all in the groceries, all on construction site, all in the bars. Huh? They even taken away my women, my Chinbagonian women and them husbands, man. How much wickedness we must take more with this immigrant thing. They're going to mashing up our homes, our families. And then all they go say, well, the morality is left for the man. Come on now, man. Everybody know. If it's an alcoholic, stay away from the bar. Because if you go by the bar, you might end up taking a drink. But if the country, you want to go tell them, stay away from Trinidad and Tobago because every corner of them man and them, especially them Indian man, they look, they see a chichito. We call them a chichito, whatever you call them the name. Sinarita. All over. Have with women and them crying. And what offering? They can't cook, they can't clean, they don't see about the family, they don't do nothing. All offering is sex.
Bang, 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 bang.
Them chiquito, them only offering sex. Dress up nice. Tight pants. Coca-Cola shape. And them stupid Trinidad man the dribbling. But we encourage it. We country where we are all of them here so free. Send them back. Now go be rehab for some of we men and them only going with them chiquitos and them. So they won't be on a corner when the man, because the man had to go out and work still. With alcohol at least, you know, they could stay away from the bar. With smoking ganja or cocaine and them thing, they don't stay away from the block. Don't go by the drug man. Gotta walk tight. But with them Venezuelan, how do you stay away? You look left, you see them. You look right, you see them. You look up, you see them. You look down, you see them. You look in the sky, you see them. Jupiter, Mars, Neptune, all over the place. These people is in the east, in the west, in north, south, central, in Tobago, all over this.
Bang, 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 bang.
I am saying Trinidad and Tobago is at a disadvantage. Our people is at a disadvantage. Our ministries is overloaded and overworked, overstretched. It have too much of goddamn unregistered Venezuelans here that not contributing to the GDP. And if they can't contribute to the GDP, or our government can't put things in place to make sure that happens, send them back, go home, leave us, get out the country. Because they're also contributing to the crime situation too.
Bang, 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 bang.
Tabakid get more hot when I realize he having a soft spot. And some people go want to sell to the Pitbull. But Andy, what about Trinidadians who are in America, wherever? I there? I cannot try to go to America and be an illegal alien in them people country. Me I do it. Who want to do it? Well, let them take the chance. Trump go send them back. Or America's system don't end up back here. So be it. Who want to do it? They take the chance. The Venezuelans and them do it. They take the chance to come here. We system need to send them back. I don't care where Trinidadians going and do the same. If the illegal in somebody's country, I want the government catch them and send them back. Because what don't want for me, I want for nobody. Look back up there. He ain't illegal. He in the system. He had to pay just dues like everybody, all the Americans. And who across there that not in the system and they illegal? Well, them have to play duck, weave, jam, and wine. Because when you get catch, it's deportation. And it should be the same thing in Trinidad and Tobago. Simple. I'm not feeling sorry for this burden on our country, Trinidad and Tobago. That the Venezuelans is a burden on our state resources. We'll tell them about. And who make baby? Them is Trinidad and Tobagonian citizens. Register yourselves. Get in the system. Or get the hell out of the country.
Bang, bang, bang. Bang, 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 bang.
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
I must dance at home before I dance aboard. I must stand up for my people before I stand up for others. I'm a patriot.
Bang, bang, bang. Bang, 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 bang.
Morning, caller. Where are you calling from? What's your contribution on the Ground Report this morning?
Morning, Andy. Morning, Lennox. You know me, I miss a contribution. So here it is now, Andy. I agree with all what you are saying, right? But who is to blame for all these illegal immigrants right now in the country?
Rowley and them. Rowley and them.
Right. They used to blame for that, right? We have a new police commissioner. We have a new government. There is a SOE going on right now. What's stopping immigration, customs, the police from going to, all right, we in Port of Spain today, we passing by them Chinese grocery, passing on Charlotte Street, we passing Frederick Street, by all these stores and saying here what, let me see all the documents. All right, or you have the documents in the van. What is stopping them from doing that? We want to blame everybody else, but ourselves right now, we're not looking at they are in power. No, the police have a new police commissioner, it have new everybody there. New. We allow all of them to come in. Fine. Right, they're done here. But what's stopping us now from going to each Chinese grocery and saying, where are your papers? You don't have your papers? Back home. What's stopping from going by all these places and checking? I sure when you go in that same Port of Spain hospital they're building there, there are certain of them working there. They are all over the country working and living. What's stopping the police and immigration and customs and all these people from going around to all these institutions and checking these people work? What's stopping them? Nothing is stopping them. I said that bureaucracy, and I said nobody is not willing to do anything. As the Prime Minister said, when she catch them, you're doing something wrong, set back. Now they are because remember there are people who flee in the country because they do not like what Maduro is doing across there, right? They flee in the country. The only way they mightn't have the papers or wherever they come in, so they come in illegal, get registered. They have the registration thing going on, or they get registered. Because at the end of the day, I have a relative who is working, I call him the name Ratans, right here in Trinidad, and they're not paying NIS and they're not paying no health surcharge, right? It have all the bars who have the locals working in them, some of the small stores and stuff. They're not paying NIS, and then for our own locals, They just giving them the flat pay. All right, the minimum wage is $22 an hour. You're getting that. You're getting all your money, but they're not paying NIS and they're not paying health surcharge because they don't want to go through that process. And they have big businesses doing the same thing. They hire the same locals and they're not paying it. Right while working, a guy came to work by me and he said the company is working before. Tell him flat he is not paying no NIS and he's not paying health surcharge, so he left the company because they're telling you they're not paying it. And nobody's not going to report them to the government or wherever because there are other people who are employed and they don't want them the laws, they work and thing. So we blame it Venezuelans, but our own citizens not paying it. Imagine we talking about Venezuelans, that our citizens, everybody who working, whether you have a small grocery, you're working in the market, you're selling doubles, none of these people paying NIS and health surcharge, and yet they get sick too. They enter the health system. The only time they're paying tax is probably when they buy something. But it have thousands of people who not paying it the same way. It's only the working class who really in a job that in the proper jobs that really paying us. So. At the end of the day, NIS, you had to pay NIS once in a proper job for that for your pension at the end of your life. And then when you retire, you get a little pension from NIS. Right? And that and all is not even guaranteed that when I retire at 65, well, it went to 60 right now, that I will get a NIS. It's not guaranteed that I will get that when I reach 60. I don't hope that it have enough people paying NIS to get our money. The grant and or the pension plan, the grant they get now, I'm not even sure when I reach 60 I could get that because it's a grant. It's not everybody will get it. I had to secure that I had to pay a pension plan that I will get something sure from my insurance company when I retire to make sure that is the money I'm sure I could get. But when it comes to the government stuff, you ain't sure you're getting it. You ain't sure you get to have plenty people who work. They ain't work for nobody, but it's have people who work like domestic workers and all these people. They don't pay NIS and they don't pay health surcharge. So at the end of the day, they're not getting NIS when they retire. One, they only can look forward to a little pension. Right? So yes, we blame the Venezuelans, send them back. But who's stopping the people now from going and get them where they are and looking for them and say, here what, all you go back, let we locals get jobs. Then you will see that real action. Look for them. It's like in America, ICE going around and getting and looking for them. And when they hear ICE coming, they're running and hiding. That is how we have to be in Trinidad to get rid of the Venezuelans. If we don't have that, well, it will continue, all the illegals will continue coming in and they will continue getting the locals jobs and it wouldn't stop. Unless we have that department, say we're going around to each company and looking for them. Other than that, it's not going to stop. That is where you have to blame it on. People who are in charge now, they had to put something in place where they have a department like ICE that going around to these places and picking them up. You're not registered, back home. You're registered, you have your papers, find the company who you're working for, making sure all the paying NIS and health surcharge, that's going through, and that is how they had to drop it. That is how they had to drop it. Because I tell you, our own locals not even paying it and they employ it for businesses. I'm telling you, I have a relative working and they tell them they're not paying it. We ask about it, they say they're not paying it. And they blatantly tell them, no, we're not paying that. Is that you want to work or you don't want to work? But we're not paying it. Simple as that. I'm telling you, right here in Trinidad, our own locals, the companies doing them that. I tell you, I now say a guy come to work by me and he tell him he left because the company say they're not paying it. Is that you want to work or you don't want to work? We gave you work. The minimum wage is $20. I think I was working for more, but we just say the minimum is $22. We pay you your minimum wage. That is what we're working for. We pay you your minimum wage or more, but we're not paying a nice and also charge. They're telling you that plain. Because they're not going through, they have to go inland revenue and they ain't going through that.
Well, all right. Thank you, partner.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, thank you. Go ahead, next caller.
Good morning, Andy. Good morning, Lennox. Barack calling here. Andy, you see the mentality of how some people is think in this country, and they don't go beyond what there is come out of their mouth. Everybody feel that it's easy to say, okay, deport them. Have an organization, put ICE like how it have over here. But there is no the budget that goes with that. They know that if Trinidad and Tobago could handle something like that. First, just imagine when we have a prisoner in our system where You don't have to give them no special attention or anything. The kind of money this costs to house one prisoner in Trinidad and Tobago. Could you imagine you having a system now where you had to house these people, man, give them proper food, you give them medication, all kind of thing, and all their needs, because you cannot keep them in any kind of inhumane condition because they are detained to be deported. And then the cost it takes to send them to Venezuela back or wherever they need to go. People don't have these things in consideration. You know? You're talking about thousands and thousands of people in this country where you would have to carry out. You know how much money it costs in America to do that operation with ICE and thing? It's billions of dollars it costs in America to conduct this operation. You know? But in the long run, it benefiting them with the illegal people. And let me tell you something. People don't understand this in Trinidad and Tobago. From the time you're born as a citizen in Trinidad and Tobago, you have contributed to the system because you ain't sitting in a corner and air buying clothes and air eating and air going to school and doing everything that you're supposed to do as a citizen. So even if you didn't physically pay taxes, look, for instance, a housewife. A housewife don't pay tax, but everything a housewife does contribute to the society. When she sends her husband to make grocery in the home, he had to spend the 12%. In fact, the government does get on that. The electricity bills that she uses in her home, that is money you'll be paying. All the utilities that she does. So somebody could say, well, okay, a housewife didn't deserve a pension when she reached 65. But every single day that lady functioned in that home, she contributed to Trinidad and Tobago. And people, that was saying it's easy for people to open them out and talk a set of rubbish. And they don't put into perspective what it is really going on. When somebody put the garbage in a bin, secure it and put it out at the road for the garbage people to collect it, you contribute. When an illegal person comes in Trinidad and Tobago and they eat a KFC and they throw it side the road, they care what they do. They invade people's place and they're taken away from the system. That is the difference. They just come now just to survive on whatever means they have possible. So they don't have no respect for anything in your country. Look all them Venezuela, no mind them. People is quarrel about and complain about the healthcare system. All of them, every one of them, the majority, like you say, about 90% of them already had 2 children in Trinidad and Tobago. You walking in any health institution on a daily basis and you see how much of them there's been inside there. You feel them contribute anything to that? They just using that, you know how much it is cost to deliver a baby in a healthcare institution, and they get that free. People don't understand the destructive nature of illegal migrants into in a country. You know. Look, Chinese people, nobody don't talk about them. They don't contribute nothing to our society. If an Indian or African person dead, and you walking down the road, you might see a wake, you might walk in and get a coffee and 2 cricks and a little bit of butter or some kind of thing. You ever see a Chinese wake anyway? You ever see a Chinese bury in the cemetery itself? You ever see a Chinese putting gas in a gas station? You ever see a Chinese buying doubles? And every single cent that they make in Trinidad and Tobago just be converted to US money and be shipping out of the country. So, no matter what people say, or how you want to class it or any kind of thing like that, once you do the right thing and follow the right law, look, I am in America here. The first pay I get, I say, better Trump take my salary and give me the taxes. You understand? But I know that every single thing here that you're doing, you could get it easy. I come up here, I get my driver's permit and license and thing within 2 days. I get a job, living comfortable and sending my daughter to school and all these kind of thing. Once you do the right thing, you have nothing to worry about. But if I was here illegal now, what I would have been doing is looking for some landscaping work with some other Venezuelan, Mexican people, doing something odd and hiding through the system and hoping that I don't get catch in any kind of nonsense and thing. And that is what people don't try to understand. The difference with coming into our country and doing the right thing and all the opportunities are available for you. Same thing in Trinidad and Tobago. All the opportunities are available that it have there. Once you do the right thing, you come to Trinidad and Tobago, you apply to our agencies, you want to become a citizen, you're fitting in the system, and you function. You come in here $10, $15 staying in one little apartment, you care about nothing, your surroundings, you're working in the bars, you're doing all kind of contributing to all kind of illegal and illicit things and things, and then people feeling sorry for that. How much Venezuelan people already committed crime in this country already? Who you think we're paying for that? Huh? It's you and I we're paying for that. And don't feel that not because you're paying NIS or you're paying some kind of taxes. You are paying contributing to Trinidad and Tobago, you know. Every citizen who is born in Trinidad and Tobago, some way or the other, have contributed to our growth and economy in Trinidad and Tobago.
Thank you.
So let us talking nonsense and all kind of thing and I always say, get rid of every single one of them. Start to clean up this place because we only stand to lose in this country with all these illegal people that is in the country rather than to gain. Come in, do the right thing, contribute to making Trinidad and Tobago a better place, and you'll have your peace. Look, let me tell you something. People is talk about discrimination and things. I deal with all kind of people over here, and not one day I didn't see anybody show any sort of discrimination or any kind of racist kind of attitude towards me. I think people welcoming once you know that how you're in a system and you have nothing to worry about. You do the right thing and you respect the order of the system that you're in.
Correct.
And let me tell you something. Everything is there for you. The opportunities is there. My daughter going to a college up here and all kind of thing. As actually I say, you feel any discrimination, and she said everybody real welcoming and nice and just treat you with respect and thing. Once you know that how you're here to contribute and you're here to make their lives comfortable also. You see, so it's a simple thing. So anybody thinks, and let me tell you something, this issue with Venezuela and Trinidad and America and thing, people having this whole thing wrong, you know. We don't have nothing to play with with what's going on with America and Venezuela, you know. But everybody making it sound like our prime minister is supposed to be some head honcho in this thing to try to resist America. They're talking patriotism and they're talking independence and thing. And now, for we to stand behind our prime minister and support what she thinks is right and what we know is right, these are the idiots and them talking about, oh, she taking the wrong stance. Okay, that is Venezuelan people who get killed. Why Maduro don't do something and show America, hey, this is my citizen. If one American get killed in Venezuela, you would see a bacchanal over there. Them come and they wipe out the 11 of them. Why Maduro don't react? Why he don't tell America, hey, all of you kill my citizen and react? You know what they want? They want we prime minister to react. Something wrong with these people in this country? Huh? Why we supposed to? We are looking at protecting ourselves because we know that one of the major transshipment points that drugs and guns and ammunition is from Venezuela into Trinidad and then leave the country. We supporting and being allies to a government that say, hey, here what, we would stand by all the ones all support we, because we don't have nothing to gain from Venezuela. People can say what they want. If we had anything to gain from Venezuela a long time, we would have been a better place. The only lie that they portrayed after this dragon gas field was something, and we know it never was anything to happen. So all the politicians were talking and thing, the prime minister standing her grounds and she doing the right thing and she aligning herself with the right entity. Who want to align with Venezuela? Let her go and align with them. Let her go and live in Venezuela. First time I could ever see people supporting something where millions of the people in your country fleeing from there. If Venezuela was so good and America was so bad, why so much Venezuelan leaving Venezuela and going in America to live? Why Americans who come and go and live in Venezuela? Why Chinese leaving China and coming to Trinidad to live? Millions of miles away. Why? How much Trinidadian you just hear migrating from Trinidad to go to China and live and sell wonton and Chinese doubles or any kind of thing like that?
Or go to
People are
Venezuela.
getting-
How much Trinidadians is really go Venezuela to live
Yeah.
to? Come on.
Only Stuart young daughter hiding somewhere about it. Stepdaughter. And what was she aligned with? You understand? And that's why you see Stuart Young and Rowley going and talking and scandalizing our goodly Prime Minister who's standing firm to make sure that Trinidad and Tobago prosper. You see now with a set of duns over there. We're dealing in drugs and smoking marijuana and weed and things and having conversation that, oh, our Prime Minister is a drunk. You understand? This is the level of thinking that the people over here encouraging with that dunce government we call the PNM. That is the kind of conversation them just have. Nothing. That's why I see nothing good can happen in Venezuela with Trinidad, you know. Because when you have people like Rowley and them going across and whining down low, you going to have diplomatic relationship and deal business with things, but you whining and drinking and maybe snorting cocaine and all kind of dotage just with it, them sort of narco traffickers and then having conversation that, oh, you see that lady there, she's a drunkard and she's a this and that. What kind of diplomacy? You ever hear Trump call and these world leaders refer to other people, world leaders as drunk and geometry and them kind of dotishness? What kind of diplomacy? Look all the wars and things that going on with Iran and Israel and Russia and Ukraine and things. You never hear they calling them drunk and prostitute and all kind of thing. That the kind of language PNM accustomed with people like Maduro and thing.
Yeah, well
And if
said,
we
Barpo. Time to wrap up, partner.
Yeah.
Don't go start to cuss,
Okay,
man.
man. Yeah. I know Orlando will call and say egg prices $3 are great over here. So don't worry. Have a good morning. I'll take care later. Yeah.
All right, partner. Morning call away, calling from. What's the contribution on the ground report this morning?
This is Jacob Martin inside Boyandi and the Professor Mickie and Lennox. Good morning. I want to disagree with that last caller when he said China hasn't contributed to Trinidad. He's wrong. Look at what we almost had a Chinese Prime Minister. That is, we had a Chinese Prime Minister for 1 month. We call that a 10 days Prime Minister. But you ever hear about the father of the nation? The legacy of Eric William? He had 2 Chinese wives, so how they contribute anything? More importantly, Chinese, to some extent, has contributed, but don't come and say that. The PNM benefited from the Chinese, that's why they support them. The other thing is, too Venezuelan coming up, and the caller was right, abusing our healthcare system at the expense of citizens. They have also taken a lot of the jobs that the CPEP workers could have access now. So, and the other thing, they're not paying NIS, and that putting a real strain on our system. The other thing I want to talk about, you ever hear about the Fisherman and Friends and the leader of that organization? I hear he bumping the gum. I wonder why he bumping the gum. I think he's one of the main man for the North Coast. And we hear that boat, what they say was a go-fast boat, coming regularly to that show. What happened? Trying to deflect from attention or what? And that boat is go carnage. So don't tell us you clapping back and you want to tell the Prime Minister you disagree with how dealing with Venezuela. Apparently he's interfering with your business, man. And we know what our business is. Anytime you have a go-fast boat, say, catching fish and fishing and things, the only fish a go-fast boats can catch is flying fish. And the other things, you're putting in the fish to bring across. No, let me get to my substantial contribution. Fixing the TTPS. I've seen that Inspector Hernandez, the head of the sort who they charge, and the case was dismissed, is now, I think, a superintendent, and he's stationed in Chaguanas. And I want to know what the police is doing to resolve that issue. In his court case, he said that he believed, or it is alleged, that certain officers charged him because he applied for the DCP position. And that is alarming, that the whole police system with respect to promotion is partisan and bally's-induced tendency. So I would like the Police Service Commission, which I want to be removed forthwith, and I don't know why the president continue to spew the gospel of the PNM. They're not working. They have the Commissioner of Police anti. I want them to initiate an investigation to what ASP or Superintendent Hernandez said in the court. Who are those persons who charged him to basically prevent him from being getting promoted, or basically screening him for promotion? If you have those officers, senior officers, who did that to him, imagine what kind of cesspit, I use it in quote, the current TTPS basically is.
So true.
And we have to the COP, Guevara, the current one, who, from my vantage, is bringing some confidence I have in the police, because he has gone over the kidnappers. He has given them counterplan. He has gone after errant police officers. A lot of them charged recently. The current Police Service Commission has to help him to investigate all the errant police officers, including something in 2015, the day of policing and all those police who participated in that activity.
And we want them to include politicians too.
Everybody, we want to. I am nothing. If this country has to be brought back on a good keel, on both sides of the coin, everybody has to be investigated if they do wrongdoing. We have to start respecting, and I want to give him kudos for visiting all those schools who would have police officers in them.
Thank you very much. Next caller, short and sweet. Go ahead, caller. I'll take some calls.
Yes.
Voice notes.
Hello.
Go ahead.
Hello, you can hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Over the years, it had all kind of different types of immigrants. And when they come inside this country, they understand that they were immigrants and they respected the rules, they respected the laws. They used to do little odds and end job, and they used to live quiet and peaceful, right? These Venezuelans here, they are very bold-faced, and they don't even understand how bold-faced they are. They even have the people talking on social media about benefits that them find them should be having, like the Trinidadians and them. Example, Cuban boy. About 2 days ago, he make up a video talking about how his daughter is a Trini and the daughter getting to go to school. Okay, but you have a son who is a Venezuelan and can't go to school, right? Partner, send your child to a private school and done. Talking about his 9 years, the child and go to school. If it was we Trinidadians doing that, right, they'd have done send child services. He even realized that that is a big evidence for you to get in trouble, right? There's a next thing too. They're doing all kind of wildness, right? And they don't even face responsibility for their actions. 2 years ago, I was working for a very famous company, right? And it had Trini people, or real Trinis and thing. And then after they started bringing Venezuelans, right? And the Venezuelans and them worked their way up to the top in management. And when it's time to recruit and hire people, the union used to be taking the Venezuelans, and the Venezuelans and them working for a whole extra $10 more than the local and them. And not to mention that them Venezuelans don't even have a form of education. When it was time to pay them, they're paying them in check. They even paying them through the bank because they're so illegal they can't even have an ID, they don't have no work permit, nothing.
Or
they can't even apply for a bank account.
They pay them cash, clear, so they pay them cash when it's to pay them. Because they can't pay them.
No, they're paying them with check.
No, but
and they used to go buy some kind of supermarket or something where they go credit check for them.
Okay.
Yeah, they used to do that. And they used to go buy supermarket and thing and credit check for them and all kind of thing. Right? A big company was encouraging that. And it have locals we study hard, and for that to apply they need certificate of character and all kind of subjects and all kind of thing. And these people that hire, which is the Venice, and them don't have no formal education, they don't have no manners, no decorum, nothing. They are getting bigger pay than the locals.
And they can't get a certificate of character.
Nothing like that. Nothing like that.
We understand.
Right? And next thing too, right? It have over 500,000 of them inside our here. 200,000 of them is the ones who registered, right? When it is these people work in this country, they change their money into US. 100 to 200 US every fortnight that is be sending across to Venezuela. Not to mention the ones who have private business able to send more US than the regular people. Calculate that by 500,000 people. Calculate 100, 200, and even 500 from the private business one, where we're making a set of money, sending all that money across over there. And then after we finance ministers and them, right, playing hypocrite like the dotage. We don't know where the US going, but we just depleting the money done. We don't know where the US going. They're playing hypocrite on we. Right? This country bleeding because of the presence. Not to mention they're having bacchanal. We're losing money. We're losing resources. We own people can't even take the pressure inside of here that we people leaving here. Right? Everywhere that you see as Spanish is where a Trini used to be. Right? Everywhere that you see as Spanish now is where Trini used to be. If you clear out all the Spanish right now, Trinidad going to be a ghost town. A ghost town, right? You know how much people in Canada alone? Then after it have America, it actually is all in China because these people come here, they make it hard for us to live inside out here, right? We go out there. So we get replaced by Spanish people.
Thank you. Oh boy. Morning, caller. Go ahead. Go ahead, caller. Morning to you.
Pleasant morning again. Andy William, the Pitbull and the Ground Report, and Lennox. Tabakit back.
Go ahead, Tabakit.
Thank you very much. Now, with the discussion is something I realize we unearthed here this morning. And I would ask your good self and Lennox to get an interview with the Ministry of Labor. And I'll tell you why. Do you know the Ministry of Labor, the fields officer? Do you know they're supposed to be going in to these companies and grocery and business places and where these people is working and check to see if these people have work permit? So what it tells us here this morning, the Ministry of Labor is not doing its work. And the mandate and the function of the Ministry of Labor, Andy and Lennox, anywhere they see these immigrants, regardless to which country, do you know by law, they're supposed to go in there and demand the books to see that they have the work permit. And I am now asking your good self and Lennox to make contact with the Ministry of Labor, with its field officer, and you will now have to interview them and ask them what have been happening. And this is truth. Or better yet, if you get the goodly minister or somebody, they have to now answer Trinidad why this have been allowed to fester. You with me, Mr. Journalist?
Yeah. Go ahead, Tabakit.
Yes, I am saying, can you just let me speak to Lennox for 1 minute, please, if you wish?
Lennox is not in. He's not there. It's just I here. So you go ahead.
Oh, okay, right. Well, then I know you do a good job. But let me ask you, what I raise, what you think about what I just raised?
What you just raised there is very, very good. The government had to do it work as soon as possible in cleaning up Trinidad and Tobago with these Venezuelans and them who registered and paying money registered.
Which we
no
understand all the registration. We understand all of that. But the big picture here, now this wouldn't have anything to do per se with the government, but the ministry, well, it fall under them. The Ministry of Labor, yeah, and its staff and the people who have to go out there to check these things, whether if they have been doing it. And Andy, this is serious business here. You talking about people working all about, they've been exploited. Anywhere there is a business and these people is working, the Ministry of Labor do not have to wait for I or you or anybody to make a complaint. They ought to go in there and demand the books and find out, hey, I see you have ex-foreigner working by you. Are these people registered? Do they have a work permit? And I would ask you, Andy, I don't know if when you would do it, if it's this week coming, because since this raise and the government is now sending back Venezuelan migrants, and you is saying send them home, and you're saying, well, okay, ensure that they get a work permit. The big question here, if the Ministry of Labor, the officers there, if they're doing the job and going out, and I want to say this, I believe the answer is no. And you're correct. If the answer was yes, then all these people who working in all supermarket, different places, yeah. So I hope you use your good office, and if you can interview.
I going on a serious campaign on that, real live. I'll be going by bars and I'll be going live and asking, Senorita, do you have a work permit to be working at this bar? Well, I'm right now at so bar, calling the bar name where I am, and it have Venezuelans working here, and I would like to know if they have work permit. I will go to war with it. I know what I'm saying.
Thank you very much, but I would still want you. I would want you to interview the Ministry of Labor and ask them if they have been going to companies, if they have been going to bars, and if they say no, well, hear what I would say publicly. The Ministry of Labor is negligent and they have been falling down on the job. Andy, I thank you, but I think this is something I would like you to interview the Ministry of Labor. I thank you for giving me air for this contribution. Thank you. Good program.
The Ground Report with Mickie K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Bang, 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 bang.
Morning, caller.
Good morning, sir. I want to talk something about the health. I hear a gentleman say how long his aunt had to wait in the San Grande Hospital. But the thing is that is certain out yet. It's only 4 months these people is there. You hear? No, it is short-staffed with doctors because doctors, they stop the gate program. And doctors could not do from third year go. So it had nearly 200 or 300 doctors had to drop out. drop out and they had to see what they could have done because they couldn't finish medicine. So it is short staff in the hospital. And then every day there's more than 1,000 people in a hospital plus health centers. I will be in the hospital about 10 years now, very regular. Then accident and emergency, you have to wait because it have people who have kidney failure and they have to sit down to wait to register. It has people with heart failure, people who are on dialysis. How much people you think somebody will favor? You have to wait your turn. Yes, it has people born with plenty disabled situation, and you have to wait in accident and emergency to get registered. Because when you think you sick, it has people sick more bad than you. And you can't blame the doctors for that. Now it has doctors here, that it is not one doctor. From PNM days, it has one doctor seeing people in accident and emergency, which you have to wait 4 hours, 5 hours there. And when that doctor says you're going level 4, or you're going into the emergency, and you have to wait there on a chair for the next 4 hours or 5 hours. When a doctor comes, they will give us what not. Now, sometimes they don't have bed. The hospital don't have bed to facilitate these critical patients. Because I was a life-threatening case and I had to wait. Now, you have to wait because you have bed. And now you have to wait till a specialist surgeon comes to see you. Because remember, those specialist surgeons is in surgery, there is a ward, and then they will come to see you. So sometimes it takes you a day and a night, 2 days, and then when they see you, they will know whether they should ward you or what should happen. And if you cannot wait, you will go to a private institution. That is why it's a private institution. It has private doctors, it has nursing homes. And the private institution is for when you cannot wait in the hospital. It are rich people only. It are people who work. And they live in the little house. And there is this and that and all kind of stuff and all kind of things. And they save little bit. And the house leaking, like Michelle. And they have it for the health. I wait, and when the doctor see me, and I see the doctor, I had to go and take all my tests private. Private. They didn't know really what's wrong with me. I borrow, and I had a little bit, and every month I will go and take private tests. Right?
And that is wrong. That is wrong, Granny. You're supposed to be able to get your thing there. You don't supposed to be spending no money, no private, to get your thing, and that is something that our government had to eventually fix.
The machines that break down part of that scanning. And I want to know what happened to me very fast because I don't want to wait. So I went and get it because I don't know what happened. Then there are backlog. I couldn't even get an ecogram. I had to wait 3 or 4 months to get that ecogram. So to help myself, I asked the doctor for a letter. If I want to help myself because that is my health. I telling you 2 years ago. 2 years ago. And I had to go and get everything private every month, every 2 months, because I want to see about my health, which that is wrong. That is wrong because I'm an elderly. It was a critical case, a life-threatening case. But if I wanted to help myself, I had to ask the doctor for paper and get all those tests. It took me 2 years. It took me 2 years. And then I come to get my major technical and life-threatening surgery, which had me that I cannot eat, I cannot walk, and cannot talk again. And the doctors was fighting to even do it or to give me the anesthetic. But God help me. But if you want to help yourself, that is what you have to do. Because that is how the system is in the hospital. You cannot blame the doctors. Because I see how doctors working. Doctors working round the clock. And when they have the off day, when they have the time, they will get a team together.
Thank you, Granny.
They will do their surgery in the nursing home because doctors will be owing plenty money. When they finish studies, they have to specialize 5 or 4 years again. So they don't leave hospital work to go to do that because I just live in hospital. So they can't blame the doctors, blame the system of the government. And those, plenty of those receptionists is cause of people delay. So you have to wait.
All right. Thank you so much, Granny. Well, they try to make it short and sweet. Time passing, and a lot of people want to make the country. Go ahead, caller.
Yeah, Andy. The focus is on the Venice today, but there's a group of silent parasites that has been affecting this country regarding the foreign exchange. All these Chinese groceries and businesses that are
Chinese.
They are more deadly than these Venice. These Venice, they only open. The accumulation is smaller compared to what the Chinese make. And where are these Chinese money going? They are taking it back to China and foreign exchange. They have dominated the food market industry in China, their supermarket business. They have pushed out all the small East Indians and African businesses because of the overwhelming support they get from Chinese goods coming cheaply down here and whatnot. So generally, the content of all the conversation is highlighting one or two problems that the immigration department and the labor officers have to really do their work, and the minister is supposed to start to see these people going down in the nooks and crannies and locating all these foreign elements that come in here illegally and deal with them. I cannot understand how so many Chinese businesses have been established in our country. So there was a lot of uproar when it now started to come before the Venezuelan, and nothing was done about it. I am not saying that they are not illegal ones who are coming here, but in these businesses, they are hiding a lot of corruption and transferring of our national wealth and foreign exchange outside of Trinidad and Tobago. And this is some of the leakage that the money is going on. When Mr. Larry Hawaii says there's no drug cut.
They also control the way in this country now, the way.
Play way, lotto machines, all these kind of things. No, if they're doing a general cleanup, don't target just the Venezuelans. I agree that they have to attack the Venezuelans who are illegal here. But the Chinese is the most deadly, and as I say, the silent parasite that is sucking the blood of Trinidad and Tobago. And if they want to act with all of them, even East Indian people who come in here, act with all of them. Don't just attack one set of people. But they are the highlights now. But these Chinese was highlighted before, and nobody did anything about it. And I remember somebody put in a quote, I think on the internet, where there's a block in Port of Spain near the hospital somewhere there, where some Chinese people are living there without undisturbed by the relevant authorities. How they are there so long. So there's a lot of cleaning up to do. Let's see the government who really want to do something start letting the Minister of National Security, the Minister of Labor, get these officers going down there. You just, as somebody said, you just go in the villages and you will see how much illegal Venice in the place. How they come in here, how they going back, and how they going back and coming all the time. It's very curious. And a lot is left to be done. And we want to see some action. Thank you, Andy.
Thank you very much. Morning, caller. Caller, morning. Next caller, you ain't answering. Oh boy, time check. Wow, time really running. 15 minutes still. I see Mr. Ramnarayan was trying to call. Mr. Tabakiti done get through. Right? So let's sorry. The people who will be able to get through with the people who ain't getting through. Right? Because it's only one call at a time anyhow, okay? Go ahead, caller, morning.
Yeah, Andy, morning. Now, Andy, what I'll start to say with that caller, that last caller there. How much Chinese are here in crime? How much Chinese are here in crime? You say the Venezuelans in crime. Chinese being robbed. You understand? And being taken advantage of. How much Chinese in crime as Venezuelans? And the Venezuelans now come here. The Chinese here for how many years? Thank you very much, Andy.
No, but before you go, I agree with you. I agree with you on that grounds. How much Chinese in crime? But the issue is not whether you're in crime or not. Some says are illegal alien and you're not contributing and you're not registered. You tell me all them Chinese registered? Huh? We want them registered or out. Get out we country. When we say registered, that a work permit. Where they're contributing to NISL to charge and everything just like us. Be registered. I don't. Better plenty in unregistered Indian people here too from India. And them don't be in crime. So but if they're unregistered, let them Indian from India go back too. Let the Jamaicans go back too. The Ghanaians, everybody. Registered. So what? I must go in be an illegal immigrant. Unregistered in a country. And because I behave and I can stay. Well, let me come home by you. Let me come and live with you. I want to come and live in your house. I'm just trying to be let me say it, I'm just trying to be a devil advocate now. Right? I'm just trying to be a devil advocate. And you have a nice wife. Real nice wife. Allow me to live by you. I go behave myself, boy. Watch me. I go cut your yard. I go clean your drains. I go paint your house. Watch me. I go well behave myself home in your house. You know what will be the backlash to that, partner? I'd rather read and spell for you. Hey wife, about 60? I ain't mine. They say all meat good. And then you end up having 2 daughters living home and they were over the age of 18, the 20, the 30, the 35. Better yet, partner, I'm washing your car. Well, I don't need to register because I'm going to behave in your house.
Bang, 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 bang.
The Ground Report with Mickie K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
I'm with no disrespect here. I just throw out that because all I hear me say, I'm going to be a devil's advocate. Just to tickle him a little bit. Because he's trying to sell to us that so long as an immigrant, an illegal immigrant, not in crime or behaving themselves, it's all right for them to stay. Well, then I'm ask you, if all them Venezuelans start to behave themselves, they can stay? The issue is not the crime scenes alone with me, boy. The issue is if my household are being provided for 5-6 people in my house, my budget is to deal with 5-6 people in my house. How the hell I could have 20 more? What will that do to my budget? How much in my trend gonna get leave out? Who are the pick and choose with when it comes to paying for school or paying for medicine or sending to school because I have to pay for transport, that travel? Partner, immigrants and illegal migrants is a burden on a country's system, partner. Worse yet, with them being unregistered, whether it be the Chinese and all. and don't have a work permit, meaning they're not contributing back. Come like we mining them for free. Come like we sacrificing, we own for them. And then some other argument go be, well, the renting, so the renting people getting rent. Well, but Trinidad and Tobago is renting too. Well, when they go in the grocery, then they start to pay NIS. But Trinidad and Tobago, they start to go to the grocery and pay NIS too. So what I tell them about? Right is right and wrong is wrong. Stop it!
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Bang, 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 bang.
What the working class Trinidad and Tobagonians have to do, that them not doing. The working class have to pay NIS and health surcharge and contribute to the GDP of this country. Not by buying groceries or going to the hardware. We're talking the working. Pay the dues.
Bang, 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 bang,
bang. Go ahead, caller.
Yes, Andy, Central here once more again. Thank you for receiving the call. Now, it's something I want to bring up again this morning, and I don't remember. You see, in the Central Zone, Andy, we need to get a permanent public health facility. We need to let the ministers and them looking into putting back the health facility in the Shoguana's main road. You see where the move out where the Shoguana's health facility was on the main road in Shoguana's? Right? We don't know what arrangement the government could probably do to get back the health facility there. It is madness to have peace higher up and peace lower down. In the case of an emergency, Andy, you have to be breaking about 3 traffic lights to bring a family member inside of the health facility. They could pass out. Or either you'll have to break traffic lights to come down there with them. Right? So we asking, right now they have it on the Ramsaran Street, right behind of Shoguana's main road. Right? Because when you go there as well, so you have no parking space at all. You have to be seen who moving from on the road itself to get up to the parking spot. Right? So we asking our political leader, our Prime Minister, to please looking into that for us in the Central Zone, please. Because here we're going on, Andy, to move out that. We don't know if this is a private property or whatever it is. And they're bringing in some stores and them who selling little clothes and whatever. And a little birdie has said that these people are like they're selling drugs up inside of it. Right? So we asking the authorities to look into that. And these people are making no sense inside of it. So it's the best thing to do, Andy. Let the government look into that. Bring back, remove them, people and them, let them go and find somewhere to rent. And let them go and fix the business otherwise. And bring back a health facility there where the public could benefit from it. Right now, having them people and them there is a total chaosness and it's a total madness. You understand? And once you can look into these people and them who more picking up the space on the pavement while walking, it is very good. Yesterday we went down there and I hardly see some of them and it was very good. People walking on the road, real good. And I mean on the pavement thing. And that is good. Kudos to whoever looking into it. Right now, it has some who just actually taken over, and we need to get the rest of them removed from there. Because it is really be ridiculous, Andy. Right? To the customers that is get a little blind to block up a certain area, and they just sell the little things and whatever it is. This is not a fight on nobody, so I don't want nobody to take this the wrong way. What we're saying is, all they try and do all the thing in a more professional manner. If all they know all they're going and take up space for people to walk, forget that. Go and do it somewhere else. You understand? Don't block up nowhere nobody. The public has to be passing and when you mass something is a bacchanal scene. You understand? Because the strong people are taking no kind of nonsense. You understand? So the ones of them who doing the most ridiculous thing, or they try and stop it now. You understand what I'm saying? Don't try to make with great political leader or prime minister who performing here in a real serious manner. We don't want you to look bad at all because right now they're doing good. Right? And kudos to them. So, coming to the Venezuelan thing, Andy, you couldn't say it better than what you say. You hear? You hit the hammer on the nail head. You understand? So, what we have to say, all illegal immigrants, if all in all your house not in order, as Andy say, get out from here. Because all you're solving no purpose here. Right now, all you're straining with economy. You understand? We can't take nothing more. Let's sink with little country, boy. We only cater for a certain amount of people, innit? The more and more they're coming here, let's sink with little piece of island. No. We can't control that. So here what's going on. All you can't fix all yourself in order. Instead of vista and go back where you come from. You hear? Because at the ending of the day, all you putting a strain on the economy. Andy, you couldn't say better than that. Unity is the code. One people, one nation, one love, and it's that.
The Ground Report with Mickie K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Bang, 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 bang.
Oh boy, time check. It's 2 minutes to the hour. To the hour of 10 o'clock. And you're listening to the Ground Report. I'm going and go to war with that. We want all illegal immigrants, whether Venezuelan, whether what, whether who, register. If all you're working, get your work permits. And if not, the Minister of Homeland Defense, Roger Alexander, the head of Immigration Office, Ministry of Labor, they need to get cracking.
Bang, 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 bang.
Don't forget tonight, Corridor Transformation, yours truly, Lennox Smith. At 8 p.m. Tobago, you all could have choose anywhere else to lock on, but you all choose the Ground Report. Thanks so much for locking on to the Ground Report. On behalf of the team, the Ground Report team, Lennox Smith and Michael Kerr, the Mighty K. I'm Andy Williams, better known as the Pitbull of radio. Ruff. Until tomorrow morning, please go at same time, same place. We are out of here.
The Ground Report with Mickie K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Bang, 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 bang.